in the vaudeville. They had real talent.
Speaking of funny podcast.
Not this young stuff you had today. You call it funny. Speaking of funny.
He was going to do a comedy special without ever hitting any open mics, without ever, doing this or that.
Okay.
He rented out Smith's Old Bar.
Whoa.
Because he has a following due to his music and everything like that. Anyway, so I bought tickets and I went just to support him because this is my boy. It was actually sold out. Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, well, he skipped the whole build your audience thing. Cool. And then when he got up there, E-Man was his opener. Okay. Which killed me. I'm like, why is E-Man opening for somebody who this is their first time ever doing? But he killed it though. Okay. And that was, I seen that and I was like, so you really can skip.
It's no rules anymore. And we come up in that era where it's like, we old school. Yeah. But
we follow the blueprint.
Yeah, but that shit dead. It's dead. Yeah,
right.
but it doesn't.
They don't have it. They don't even. Yeah.
It's dead now. It don't work like that. So. Yeah.
But there's a multitude of things that we're seeing from that. Like we're seeing like my friend who he had a great stand-up show without having to go through the open mic circuit. Yeah. But then we're also seeing the guys who are coming from social media, and then once they get up on stage, they got a packed house, but their show is really not,
because it doesn't translate. The humor, first of all, you ain't got the Snapchat filter that's what make you funny. Yeah. It's not changing your voice and your shape of your face and your eyeballs bulging out. So really, it's taking that away, and now you got people who looking at your regular plain old face and your regular plain old voice.
Yeah, you can't edit. You can't edit on stage.
Yeah, and you ain't got no bit because you don't know how to really write comedy. You don't got no jokes. You don't understand. You just get up there talking.
Right. And because the five guys you hang at work decided to tell you that you was funny.
It will crash and burn. If he goes like on tour, because you're gonna go to certain cities, St. Louis, Memphis, Atlanta, and it's like, nah, nigga, like nah.
Go back to
but it's just you know what? Like the internet. Are we recording or we going?
We're recording.
Okay, yeah. It's like the way the internet is. It's like you make up your own rules now. It's no more blueprint. You make up your own rules, because I remember when won't even call them internet comedians no more because they real comedians now. We thought it was gonna be a fad,
but when we first came up,
we thought like, okay, well then we be out here on stage every night. That's why I took a step back from the stage, because I'm like, what is all this grinding gonna get me? I'm not gonna get no money. Will I make it a 6-piece or a drink? Going on stage every night making no money, but then when you could turn on your phone and have 100,000 followers and then go sell out the show. Because I remember like when what was it called, that comedy Ratchet People Meet came out, right?
Yeah.
When all of them came out, so it was like they going to Uptown into these comedy clubs and they're selling out and never did comedy. They getting $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 to headline, but they couldn't headline. So then they bring the real comedians, and the real comedians closing out the show because they can't, and they getting $300. But they done made $5,000 their first show. So when I saw that, and I was just peeping game, I'm like, man, like, we got such this dinosaur mentality. It's like, I'm on stage every night, I'm grinding, but it ain't no more TV shows to get discovered on.
So let's introduce our audience to who you are, because you clearly got a lot of knowledge, and I don't want that to get lost in the shuffle of who the grandest of who we
Oh well, hold on 1 second, I got that. This right here, I am so honored to have her as our first official guest. This is my sister. I have looked at her for inspiration and so much over the years, because she is one of the most clear-headed people that I have met in Atlanta. Like I haven't seen her rattle. Anytime she says something, it's based off of facts, not emotion, which, as you know, most guys don't know how to handle that coming from a woman. So this right here is the very talented, she's always writing. She was talking about like when I was trying to get up on stages, her name would be on the list, but she would have a notepad and be sitting in the back. She didn't care if she got on or not because she was studying. But Miss Kirby, what do you go by entertainment wise?
You know what? I always try to like have this cool stage name, and I could never think of one, so I just go by my name. I say Kirby or Kirby Wilkins. Like,
I call it a curbster, but you know that's.
I got so many. I have so many nicknames, but yeah, thank you for inviting me. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited. You know, I love to be able to sit down and talk and just. It's been a long time since we caught up with each other. So
yes,
yeah.
The only disagreement we've ever had in our friendship is she won't introduce me to none of her work buddies. that's the one thing I just feel like is foul. Like
I don't
introduce friends. I don't introduce friends to comedians because y'all just a different breed of people. So I stay away.
I wish I would have known that. I wish I would have met you 6 months ago. I heard my best friend and
yeah,
awful.
But yeah, so
I can't even talk to her best friend. I can't even have a conversation with her because somebody else, another comedian, hurt her so bad.
That's how I be, man. That's how I be though, for real. But yeah, so what we getting into?
It's just
tell us about you.
Okay, well, I do comedy, but my passion is filmmaking. Like I'm a writer. And I just fell into comedy. Like they say that I heard this quote years ago. They was like, you don't choose comedy, comedy chooses you. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like comedy chose me because it was just like, I guess I had a social media start because I used to be real reckless on social media. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of slowed down. I slowed down for two reasons. For one, my mama joined Facebook. She said she'll never do that. So I had to clean it up. My daddy joined. I was like, dang, I went from rated R to like, PG 13, you know. And then people just kept asking me like, are you a comedian? Are you a comedian? I'm like, nah, why you say that? And this girl was like, I really think you should try stand up. Like, I come on your page to laugh. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. So I Googled how to be a comedian, and it was like, write a 5-minute set, go to open mic, and good luck.
You were one of those people when I first met you were coming out.
Yeah.
You weren't performing, but you were coming out. But like a pet peeve of mine are the people who just hang with comedians and they themselves are funny, but they won't go on stage. Yeah. And that's how I felt about you at first. It was like, if you seen Shaq, you seen Nene, or you seen such and such, you seen you, and it'd be like, why don't you? Oh no, I don't do that. But you.
I'm gonna tell you why. So I actually got a cosign from Carlos, right? Mm-hmm. Carlos used to do this room throwbacks on Old National.
Carlos Miller, yep.
So I used to go there, then throwbacks shut down or whatever. And then he was like, well, I'll be at Cat's Cafe. Like, you could catch me out here every Tuesday. So I was going out there. And so we followed each other on Twitter. And then one day, you know how after the end of the comedy show, we all outside kicking shit, whatever. And he was like, y'all need to follow this girl. She funny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So like, 30 comedians start following me on Twitter, and they was retweeting me and stuff like, oh shit, she funny. So when they see me, they knew who I was because I was just talking so reckless. So that put fear in me because people saw the stuff I was saying online. It was so much like pressure on me. Like, I feel like I didn't have like the chance to be able to like grow. People just expected me to be funny off the top, and I was like, well, I'm just getting started. They was like, people be outside talking, they never go watch comedians, and they be like, oh, you want to listen? Everybody come in, and I'll be like, nah, I ain't gonna go up. So it was that fear for a long time. It was like, dang, like, so then I started going to like the mainstream rooms, where they call them the white rooms, to get my comfort up. But then I had comedians like, oh, that's gonna make you weak. So I'm like, stop doing the mainstream rooms. I'm like, I don't want to be weak. That's not real if you do mainstream. So comedy weird, man.
It is.
It's weird.
But you know what? It's its own culture.
It is.
And what I've come to realize is people will respect the laughter without respecting the culture. Or, they just want the laughter. I'll get so many calls. We want to incorporate a comedian, and the way they want to incorporate a comedian, they really mean clown. They don't really mean, because they're not respecting the culture of comedy. Right. I've gone to somebody's spot and they're like, we just need a comedian. I'm expecting to go up and do 5 minutes. They're like, could you go up there and do some skits?
They don't know what it is when they asking for a comedian to be on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
They respect the laughter, but they don't respect the culture.
I love it. And Sonny and I, we experienced this a couple weeks ago. We had a show that they had good intentions, but it wasn't necessarily like it is a culture behind it, and putting together a comedy show, it has to be done a certain way, and everybody got to be on the same page. And it was my first time seeing that. Now, fortunate for me, I was telling her it was a master class for me.
Okay.
Because I was in a situation where I was irritated. Because how dare I'm looking at it and I'm just like, the DJ don't know how to work with comedians. The you know what I'm saying? It ain't no hoes, blah blah blah. Yeah. But these gentlemen who been the OGs in the game, the people who I look up to, they instantly just ran in and jumped in and was like, okay, oh boy, he going to talk to the DJ and showing him what to do. Yeah. Somebody else is walking with the host, you know what I'm saying, and a promoter, talk to the promoter, and this is how stuff goes. And they just went ahead and took control of the situation, but. That's because they have years of understanding that it's a flow of, you just can't throw comedy on top of, like, sprinkle it like we parsley, sprinkle it on top of it.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
They think comedians are parsley, and black people put parsley on everything.
I was gonna say the show we did would be familiar to the shows we did in the beginning where it's a club and ain't no stage.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I hated no microphone. Like I got invited to a show. There was no stage, no microphone. I said, this is not a play. I'm not going to be screaming at the audience, throwing my voice out, because like a microphone, like I don't care about a stage, but like a
you at least need me to be able.
I'm not. This is not theater. No, I couldn't do that. So it's like you have to have, like, I know comedians love to get on stage, but you have to have like a certain level of like integrity. I can't just go in there and do whatever, So you got the alley-oop from Carlos, and then you got this. You find yourself giving a lot of attention, and it's pressure. So you got this pressure, and then that kind of like, it scared you, which I can understand. It scared me,
and so it caused you to step back. But because you're still a creative person, it's still like something bubbling into you. So now
it made me write better. It made me write better because like I would still get out and. You don't have to be on stage. Like you said, you could be studying. Like I could be like, I'll be saying like, what makes this person so funny? Like one of my favorite comedians is a woman, Vanessa Fraction. Like I think she a beast, you know? And I'm like, what makes her so funny? It's like the real life, and she's physical, and she's very like, she participates with the crowd. So I would be studying this stuff, even though I'm out and I'm not getting on stage, I'm still working on my craft. But it was fear. I was fear-based for a long time. And then like one day I just said, fuck it. And I got funnier. Once you get your fucking in, you do get funnier.
True.
Wow,
yeah. Once you stop caring about what you think other people think is funny, and you just go to have a good time yourself, that's when that whole revelation happens where you start getting laughs at stuff you didn't think was gonna get laughs. And now it's.
And you'll fuck up on stage and like say a blunder, but like, and you'll say it out loud, but they laugh at it. It's like, I wasn't even trying to have this be a joke.
Right.
I don't care no more, so I'm gonna say what's on my mind.
Exactly.
But they find that funny. So.
But when you got your heart into it and you care, just that joke that you've been working masterfully on for days, when it don't hit, like
you robotic. Because when you care, you become super robotic with it. Like this joke, then this come after this, and I'm gonna transition into this. So. But once you get up there and you're able to be free, because they used to be like, oh, it's going to take you this amount of years to find your voice. And I was like, what does that mean? But like, I get it now, but no one could ever explain. That was like, when you find your voice, like, you'll know. And I'm like, what's my voice? Like, I was being so technical. Like, what's my voice? What's my style of comedy? Like, I don't know. Should I do urban? Should I do mainstream? Like, it was just too much. Instead of just being free in a moment, it was just too much going on in my head, which made it like robotic. And then once I stopped giving a fuck, I was able to like be Kirby.
True.
Yeah.
So question, your podcast, you do a lot of arguing with men. Not arguing. Okay. You don't necessarily. You yourself don't argue.
Okay.
But the questions that you ask, I feel like you need another woman on your podcast to actually give like a woman's perspective. Because I watch, and then you'll have like, shout out to Shaq Double D. Shout out to some of my other brothers in the game, but. They be giving like the most caveman answers to stuff, and then you look in the comment section, and it be all these dudes agreeing. I'm like, I guess my Tevin Campbell ass can't go on the show because they'll look at me like I'm super soft. I'm sitting here talking about sensitivity. Just bash her over the head and bring it to the crib. Wait, what?
I hate that, but like I don't argue because I allow everybody to express themselves. Like some people try to convince you to have like their mentality on things. I'm like, if you feel like that, you feel like that. But if you just saying something outrageous, I'm be like, nigga, no. You know?
Right.
And Shaq does that a lot. Shout out to Shaq. But people love that toxicity.
They do.
They love that toxicity. Like the men love it, the women hate it. So it makes for like great conversation.
They do.
You know? So yeah, I do need more women on there. But it's hard. Like, well, this y'all second recording, but it's hard trying to get people, us, you know, to just the whole scheduling of it and stuff. It just be hard. Like, and we all got something, like all of us like do stuff, so it's hard. They be like, well, I got my podcast on that day too. I was gonna ask you to come. I was like, well, dang, every time I invite somebody, they're like, well, I got a podcast too. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whenever you free, you know.
So real quick backstory, Kirby invited me to her podcast the last time.
That wasn't your fault though.
And it was absolutely my fault.
It wasn't. Nope.
It was absolutely my fault. I took absolute responsibility for that.
That's she even
called me that day.
I did do that.
She called me that day to make sure I was still coming. And I don't know what happened. My brain just switched days.
Was you high?
I was not high. Oh, I hadn't smoked. That's probably the problem.
Oh, wow.
I remember stuff when I'm high. It's being sober that confuses me.
Oh, damn.
But I for whatever reason switched days in my head. I think what was it? It was Wednesday. You recorded on Wednesday, but my head for some reason said Thursday. So I'm still preparing for a whole another 24 hours. And then she hit me up and was like, "Where are you?"
Yeah.
Oh crap. That is today. So I completely I get that.
It wasn't your fault. It was the other girl's fault because she was super late. So what I was trying to do was get you come early so we could incorporate you in. But by the time, like, it wasn't your fault though. Because I told you a certain time, but I was just trying to see if you could come a little earlier. But you still would have been on time had she been on time. So, yeah. And when they say time is money, I'm still sometimes I hold grudges, but when they say time is money, time is really money. Because I paid a lot for that 1 hour studio time because I had to be gone the next day, so I couldn't do my normal 2 hours. And so I basically lost a whole episode that I was going to do because she was late. And I'm like, I can't work with you no more because I like people like in this industry. You really got to protect your face card because now I had so much I wanted to do with her, but like I'm like I can't. I already done lost money on you. I can't work with you no more. So, but it wasn't your fault because like had she been on time, like that episode would have been in. I could have brought y'all in. So, yeah.
But that was good because then you and Brandon, I mean, it seemed like y'all had a good groove. We had a good, we
so
that sounded like that seemed like it was a good, you know, episode, 2 episodes or whatever many episodes you chop it into.
Got one, but it's cool though. But it's with scheduling and stuff, it gets a little hard trying to maintain. I
was telling them earlier, one of my pet peeves is the fact that I know I'm perpetually late.
Yeah,
but. Yeah. If you later than me, you done pissed me off.
Yeah, you know. As a flight attendant, I'm just super on time. Like, I got lost. It brought me way down, like, the street. I was like, what's going on? I'm turning around.
GPS will betray you getting here.
I was like, I'm normally on time. So, like, that was bothering me because, like, as a flight attendant, you have to be, like, on time. Right. Because you will delay a plane. If you delay that plane, like, it's not good.
Probably all kinds of penalties.
I didn't even think about like a flight could be delayed because of a flight attendant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If they late, then they gotta push that time back. And like a lot of times stuff be so intricate, like where they have to get you off the ground in a certain amount of time. They're like, a storm is coming. Like we need you off the ground before this lightning strike. If the lightning strike, you automatically grounded for 4 hours. So it's like if you cause that plane to be delayed, they like we could have been in the air, but you. So it's like you don't want them problems. Wow. You don't want them problems.
Ooh, the insides of
So you be on time. You be on time. It's crazy being a flight attendant, man. Like.
Are you all penalized if you're late?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so I have a question. Mm-hmm. All right. So what's the weirdest thing that you've like encountered as a flight attendant?
I was gonna say you probably ain't even like one thing probably don't even stick out no more, do it?
No, it's it's giving me great material. I have not worked out yet, but
as somebody who's on your page regularly, I'm even desensitized. Like I used to read your page before and be like, wow, and now I'll just be like, oh, it's just Tuesday.
Just
for
another day.
Yeah,
another day.
I skipped through PSA because I told the guy that I had I said, please don't be alarmed. I got a huge dildo.
Oh yeah, I got stopped for that before.
And I told him something else. I was like in handcuffs in my bag, and he turned B-Ray. He did not. The reason what ended up happening was I had bought some stuff from Victoria's Secret. I mean, Bath and Body Works, and you can't have a big bottle.
Dildos now? Wait, hold on.
No. I bought not that. I bought some stuff from there, like the full bottle stuff.
Okay.
And you can't travel with it.
Right.
The ounces, yeah.
And I didn't want to throw all that stuff. It was like $200 worth of stuff.
Ooh.
And I didn't want to toss it out.
Yeah.
So I was like, I told him that wasn't what was in the bag, but really it was just like a bunch of the stuff. And he was like, he didn't want no parts of it, and he just slid. I watched him slab my thing on through. And
okay, so all right, so for me, early on, I caught a lady breastfeeding her cat. Yeah, breastfeeding her cat. And then another one that sticks out is a guinea pig got loose on the plane, and that was hell.
Wait.
Man, it's so much stuff. Like it's so much stuff. It's so much stuff. Like,
because what immediately did hit me is I realized now, like over the past 7 years, that whole emotional support animal thing got out of control.
Yeah,
because
they had to, because somebody bought a baby horse on that one time.
I can imagine.
Yeah, see, that's just the white people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not white.
Remember, we can't.
Sorry. What we were calling them? What's the word? Cockatoids? No, that's
no. My preferred term is Mayonnaisian.
Okay, I'm adopting that.
I like that.
The Mayonnaisians.
Unless I'm trying to cuss them out, but trying not to get in trouble, and then it's snow crabs.
We gotta be
snow crabs.
Okay. I'm adopting.
But if it's civil, Mayonnaisians.
Yeah, Mayonnaisians. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a cat lover. I have 2 cats of my own.
Okay.
And I'm also breastfed my daughters. I thought
you was about to say cat.
I did too. I did too.
God, I was about to fire her and everything.
The dog.
This is your last show.
Yeah, that was weird.
Listen, I stopped breastfeeding. I stopped nourishment from my kid because he bit me. The one day he bit me, that was it. The last day he ever been breastfed.
Man,
you know what? We want to get some Similac right now. So if a cat, just imagine a cat. No, I can't even imagine. And I love my cats, but just to be that intimate and just my cat jumped in the shower with my aunt. She came down visiting us from Michigan, and cat jumped in the shower with her. I don't know what got into him, but he jumped in the shower, and she a big woman. I never seen Big Mama move that fast.
Wow, yeah.
She probably had the whole shower curtain with her.
Yeah, she sure did. Told my bathroom up. I had to get the contract out there and everything. You put a hole in the drywall. It's just.
Oh,
yes, the cat got in the shower.
It's so much stuff to the point where it's like, it just, I'm so desensitized. People bring those lifestyle dolls and think they're real people.
Oh yeah, the little baby.
Be like, can they get a Coke? I'm like, who? Yeah.
Actually, that does. Since I seen Lars and the Real one, what is it? Lars and the Real Girl. Mm-hmm. I think since I've seen that, I don't understand it, but I
don't get it.
What is it? I've never. So
seen it. There's a psychological condition where I don't know how it starts off, but there's a movie called Lars and the Real Girl where he buys one of those latex real feel dolls.
Yeah.
But to him, it's a real woman. So he talks to the neighbors as if he's, his wife and da-da-da-da. Yeah. And then eventually the whole town gets behind him. And now there's this whole schedule where they all, when she goes to work, the neighbor comes and picks up the real doll and takes it to work and all this and all that. So since I've seen that movie, I kind of, I don't get it, but I'm like, okay, you're just one of those. Yeah, that's what that is. Because I've seen that on Marta before.
Netflix? I'm intrigued.
Yeah. It's been such a long time. I don't even know what it's. But I seen that on Marta one time. A guy was sitting in the handicap spot with one, and an older lady came on. With the walker, And me and another young man was like, hey, bro, could you move the doll so that the old lady can sit down? And he's like, my wife is entitled to sit here. Oh. You know what?
That's crazy.
I think your crazy outweighs my crazy. So we gonna find somebody, excuse me, big scary prison looking black dude. Would you get your ass? I would rather fight you than this guy.
Me too. Yeah. Wow. So it's a lot of stuff. It's
but the benefits outweigh all the. Have you ever had anybody like try to fight you?
Yeah. Every time
I
fly to New York.
People hate flight attendants.
Every time I fly to New York.
Because people feel entitled. And when you feel entitled and somebody just following the rules. Yeah. I've seen that live before.
Especially with
planes.
this mask mandate and stuff. Like flying, the pandemic has made flying absolute hell. People don't want to put on their mask. They're super entitled. My worst passengers are LaGuardia, New York, but it's like the whole East Coast suck, but it's New York, Newark, Philly, all of them. Like those are my worst flights. You know, going to the West Coast, they cool, they laid back. Unless I'm going to Vegas, but you expect Vegas flights to be crazy because they drinking. Mm-hmm. They drinking, so you know your Vegas flights. Orlando flights are hell because that's Disney World with all the kids. Mm-hmm. You know, but. Them New Yorkers, they different.
No, where are you from?
They different. I'm from Florida. I'm from Palm Beach, South Florida. Yeah.
Okay. How long you been in Atlanta?
10 years. Okay. 10 years. I moved when I got the job. I moved for a year. I moved to Vegas for a year. It sucks, but I came back. So
Atlanta is home.
Yeah, Atlanta home now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Does Atlanta feel like home though?
It does, yeah.
Good.
My dad lives here, my brother.
I was about to say, how dad doing?
He good. He's cool. He's really good, you know. But I'm actually trying to retire from being a flight attendant. I told myself when I got the job 3 years, and this February was 3 years. So I'm trying to be out really soon.
And then what's next?
I'm trying to get an event space.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a space. I'm just trying to like jump into entrepreneurship and like just be able to have more cash flow to fund like the projects I really want to do. Like I'm at that point now where I only want to operate in purpose.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I only want to operate in purpose, and I'm tired. Like it's a great job. Like it was like I knew when I got the job, I said this gonna be my last job before I get into like what I really want to do. But it's cool. It's a blessing because this job, it like prepared me for the type of lifestyle I want to live. Like I already like to travel, and I said I don't want no boss. But when we get on the planes, it's just us. Like we don't have no boss. I don't have to check into nobody, so that's cool. We manage ourselves. So but it's time to go because I told myself I just want to start working in purpose. I want to work on my projects. I want to get into comedy more and film more, just like everything creative. But I can't do that work. And you know my schedule. Like I be in town like 2, maybe 3 days a week.
Right.
So
now the question I do have for you for your so I know that y'all have to maintain a certain level of professionalism no matter who's on the plane. Yeah. So who have you had to resist fangirling who's been on one of your flights?
Question.
Who I had to do it?
Who have you had to resist being a complete
New Yorker? New York. I mean, I done almost fought. Like me and my homegirl, she's been on the podcast before. You probably seen that she got the dreads, but like it was just like this one. It's New York every time. Like I'd be like, fuck this. Like I don't care. And like me and this dude was literally, you know. Yeah, she had to pull me back. It was a dude. It's always the dudes.
Oh no, he's talking about like a celebrity.
Oh,
don't get me wrong. I'm interested
I work
in this.
For Frontier.
No. I'm also interested in this story.
Oh no,
too.
I work for Frontier.
So no. I met got daggone
celebrity.
I met a little. I can't remember. 2005. Everybody was little, so I can't remember dude's name. But I met little somebody on a Greyhound one time.
Huh.
So
little somebody on the Greyhound.
Is he still a somebody or?
Of course not. He was on the Greyhound.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, am I gonna know who it is?
I'm trying to. Oh my god.
There's so much funniness in that. That's the funniest thing he just said today. There was so much in that whole little statement. Oh my god.
Yeah. If you remember 2005, everybody was little.
Everybody was little something.
Yeah.
But real. You know, so it's a one hit wonder that I'm thinking of right now, but I can't remember. Yeah, he wasn't big, but it was just so just any celebrity that you might have, not even celebrity, but just anybody famous that you might have met that you had to be, but you said Frontier.
Yeah, I work for Frontier.
Okay. Well.
I don't know. I can, because you know, celebrities, actual celebrities, love to do low key stuff just to prove that they're still one of the people. Sometimes
and they post the whole thing on Instagram.
My coworkers, I've seen people, but I've never seen nobody like, damn, they was on there. Like, even when they took pictures of people, it's like you would probably know them, like sea level. But I work for Frontier.
Who would you?
I got you.
Risk your job for if you saw him on there?
It be some regular people I risk it for. It don't gotta be a celebrity. Sometimes it be, you know, we go to Houston or something or Dallas. Like, people in Texas just fine for no reason. I don't know what it is about Texas, but they have some nice specimens there.
I can agree with that.
I
Texas
agree.
fine.
Houston,
yeah,
Dallas.
like when I do them flights, I'm like, ooh, gotta.
The first time I don't my attraction is not based on race.
Yeah.
But there's certain cultures I've never found particularly attractive.
Yeah.
But I seen like this Korean girl in Dallas one time, and I was just like, they make those?
I dated an Asian before, knew how to make the best goddamn oxtails I ever had in my life. And I felt like a sellout. But them oxtails was
eating oxtails or for dating
the fact that they knew how to make oxtails so well. Like, what the hell? Like, could make all the soul food dishes. Like, yeah.
I mean,
they know our culture.
They know our culture, and then our culture. The crazy part is our culture is based on poverty, and their culture, with the parts of their culture that intersect, are just their culture. Yeah. Like oxtail, I've dated a Korean young lady, I've dated a Filipino young lady. Like, oxtails is something that's just in wheelhouse. Like,
really? I didn't know that.
Just took it over as our
really.
Yeah,
okay.
Like Asians, because oxtails is that's a to us that's a poor food. That's you can get 3 pounds for $2.
Not no more.
Not now. Not now. You right.
Oxtails need to go back to being poor people food. Because look,
whoever run for president, they need to have that on the ballot. I swear, I would run for president.
And cereal.
They need to put that on the ballot. They will make oxtails cheap again.
And cereal. Cereal is so expensive. Like, you could give it away as a Christmas present.
That's why now, if you notice, now they're making all those cereal snacks. Like now they got Fruit Loops that are like this big that you can eat like a donut.
Yeah.
Mind you, as somebody who's been a pothead since 1996, I'm sitting here like, really?
Yeah.
now y'all,
yeah. Cereal expensive, like just inflation.
See, I've tricked my kids into, I've conditioned them into thinking that the off brand, the cereal in the bag was better than. So now when I was during the pandemic and I was able to get food stamps and I was balling out like a Kardashian in Publix, and I bought them like the real Fruity Pebbles, and I was like, what is this? We need the Tomatillos. Wait a minute now, hold on. So
somebody said those taste better. I've never had bag cereal before, but I heard that bag cereal actually tastes better. I'm not gonna be the one to try it, but
the imitation Captain Crunch and the imitation Cocoa
Crisp
better. Or to me,
really
tastes better.
The Cinnamon Toast Crunch ones too.
Really?
Yeah, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the Captain Crunch, and the fake Cocoa Krispies.
Oh wow,
those taste better.
Everything else is up for
It's that's like a low key designer type thing. Like, oh, I eat Fruity Pebbles. I don't eat,
And see, with me growing up poor, so like you had to trick your kids into that mentality. That was just my mentality growing up. We never had Kellogg. So when I got grown and started buying Kellogg, I'm like, this ain't even as good as.
Your taste buds do get used to like what is used to. Like, And
my kids now, I got 19, and he be like, nah, get the bag.
Yeah.
Bring the bag.
You done convinced them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So designer luxuries, do you have anything that you kind of like bougie on or picky on? Did you just?
I'm seeing the melanin anklet. That's the first time. I don't see her with jewelry that often. That's the first. I'm sitting here amazed by that.
Yeah. I like jewelry. But I like perfumes. I like scents and stuff. I wear my hats.
She does wear hats.
I wear my hats. And cause then when it's like, where's your hat? I was like, dang, I can't even not. I'm
not gonna lie. Like when I go, like if I go to Cats,
if
I see the hat, and I know that's you, I'm going to come over to you. Yeah. If I don't see the hat and I just think that's you, I'm gonna wait for you to walk past me before I
it's almost like a branding thing. People like, I saw you, but like when I don't wear it, like, where your hat at? I'm so used to you wearing the hats. It's like it ain't even like I love them so much like that no more. But it's like people it's just like they recognize me by it. So it's a brand now.
You're rocking a hat, honey, and I'm so jealous because I wish I could. I want to wear a hat. You could. I can't. It just I don't know. First of all, I'm too awkward. I don't know how to wear it. And you know exactly the right position and stuff. If I had on that hat, I'm gonna have it on like a pilgrim. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a brim because I don't know the hat etiquette.
You didn't see her Pharrell hat phase. See, I was there for the Pharrell hat phase.
She just got a hat.
See, right now this is her at the perfected level of hat wearing. I was there for the Dudley Do-Right Pharrell hat. You feel me? You didn't always have this perfected. She had to work at it. She had to work at it. It was sometimes the hat was like, you know, that's Kirby, but it's like, was that really the hat for tonight?
The hat wasn't hatting.
Was that the hat that you?
It wasn't hatting. Yeah.
The hat wasn't hatting.
The hat wasn't hatting.
So that's just like comedy. How people think, oh, such and such came out of nowhere. No, they've been, you know, that's her hat game. Her hat. Now you look at her hat game, you're like, gosh, she's perfected that.
But you were there in the beginning.
I was there in the beginning. It was not perfected.
Yeah, Sonny been around for a long time. He done been around for a long time. Yeah. How long you been in Atlanta?
I've been in Atlanta now 12 years.
Okay.
Because when you said throwback, Carlos Miller was one of the first people. I used to go from Carlos Joke Boy Sose's room to Carlos Miller's room on a Thursday night.
Who Joke Boy? Who? He's still around.
What is his other name?
A lot of stuff on social media with calling out.
We used to know him as something.
Okay.
We used to know him as something else, but he used to have on Sylvan Road. I can't remember what it was called, but the club on Sylvan Road he used to do an open mic at. It was more mirrors than people. Like the mirrors were all.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Where Chicks versus Dicks was filmed.
Yeah.
But
I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, this goes Yeah.
I'm so proud of like. It's so good to see like everybody's growth.
Yeah.
Cause it's people like. It's just like if you stick to it, like something's gonna pop for you. And it's like you see the class, like Carlos them Ben got out there, the class under him got, and then it's like you seeing the classes who like 3-4 generations after us starting to do stuff. It's just like Atlanta has an amazing comedy scene. Like
it's class
beast.
There are classes.
There are classes. Yeah.
So it's classes. I'm new. I'm very new in comedy. I'm like 2.5 years in.
Okay.
As doing stand up, I've got a little bit more time under my belt as a writer, but so I'm learning a lot, and a lot of stuff is like a lot clearer to me, and so doing this, I'll have like a little light bulb moment and it'll light up. So that's one of those light bulb moments for me. Like, oh yeah, it's classes and it's seasons. I've learned it's classes and it's seasons and it's just I don't know. And I wonder if have you had the opportunity to go to other places since you travel and stuff? And do
not comedy? How I want to. And it's so funny because, like, I don't know. I be beating myself up sometimes because when I got this job, I was like, I could go do comedy in different states and stuff and just build up. I ain't do none of that shit. I probably did it once or twice. I ain't do none of that. Like,
why do you feel like you didn't? You just was tired after the job? Or
you know what? Really? As long as I've been doing, like, I don't know. I'm weird when it comes to comedy because I do love it, but I'm still trying to figure out my place in it. Like, I'm still trying to figure out my place with, and I'm just like, what aspect of comedy do I want to do? You know, I know, like, I don't want to be on the road. I don't want to be on the road every night. I don't want to be like, I don't even know if I necessarily want to be like a touring comedian. And I know that's most people's goal. Do I want to be on tour and like do dates and stuff? Yes. But do I want to be gone like 4 or 5 nights? I want to do a weekend, make my money. And so it's like, because of that, I haven't grinded how I should. But it's like, why should you grind so hard if you don't even know, like,
it's gonna end up?
Yeah. Right. So it's weird for me.
It's funny that you say that. Because it's like, you know, we were just talking about the whole blueprint thing that when we came in the game, everybody was preaching. But it's like that blueprint is for if you just want You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to get here,
right?
Everybody's not trying to get here, and furthermore, I don't even know where I'm exactly, because I'm like you. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting thinking about it. I'm like, you know, it would be great to go on tour with Cat Williams or Dave Chappelle or whatever for the recognition, but I don't really want to be gone from my house for months at a time like that. Even though the experience would be great and I would see this and meet that, and I'm like, I would rather, you know, go and do, like you said, a weekend, be able to come home, and I would
rather do something like this where you know me for my piece of work. I like say my podcast. Well, when my podcast gets big, and then you know me from that, and then I go do my shows on the weekend, something like that. Like I go do my weekend dates and stuff. But I don't want to be gone like constantly. Like I don't want to be going 10 months out the year, come home like a couple days a week. That's what made me not grind so hard, because I'm like, that's not the life I want to live.
I'm a complete opposite. I think because I want to be gone. I got a house full of kids. I got 3 cats. I got a man. I be getting on my nerves all the time. I'm trying to leave. I want to be gone. Book me. I am available to be booked. Take me on the road. Come save me.
Now all that sounds fantastic. How old is your youngest child?
She's 2.
Oh,
and 16 years, when she gives you the "you were never there" speech. No. I'm only saying that because some of the comedians that my mentors, you know, you meet their kids be just a little bit younger than you. And you thinking to yourself, man, it must have been great to grow up with such and such. It must have been fantastic to have man, this motherfucker was never around. Yeah. Me and my mom came to see one of his shows, called him cheating, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. It'd be like, ooh, I didn't realize.
I think I can deal with that, just because I've got, I can deal with that, because I've got older kids who already show me that teenage girls suck and teenage kids suck automatically. So when she gets that age, I'm just like,
they do suck. Everybody suck when they're a teenager.
So I'm just like, I'll take her on the road with me if I need to. I just, just be me and her. Yeah. Get her a Peppa Pig backpack, a little rolling, a little tablet. We be just gone.
Yeah.
So to give Kirby her flowers, because she's been awfully modest. She is also a self-published author.
Okay. Yeah.
And she is also a self-produced. She's a self-produced screenwriter / director.
I read that. I did look you up on IMDb.
Oh wow! Yeah. Okay,
yeah, so you got some good stuff on Google.
And she gave me a part in her first feature production, The Church's Money.
Oh yeah,
I loved it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so look at you. You never told me you were an actor.
Yeah, Sonny be acting.
I didn't even mean they called me, and I thought, I was like, this is probably. I didn't even read the script or anything they gave me. I really didn't, because I was like, this probably ain't gonna be nothing but me just walking on and saying something stupid or blah blah blah.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Just something. So I had to actually study the day of and everything, but it didn't. I got a couple of notes, but it was great. The story was great, and so one thing I really admire about you is you don't let no's or I get in my head, I don't know nobody who can do this. I don't even know the first step. You know what? And I've noticed with you, since I've known you, when you get an idea in your head and you get really passionate about it, there's no such thing as no.
Yeah, that's true. Because if you've seen it before, it could happen. So it's like nothing's impossible. Like if you can't think of nothing that doesn't exist, the reason you able to think of it is because it exists already.
Right.
So it's like, I just be figuring it out. That could be the Virgo in me, where we just super driven and just analytical. Like I get on Google, start studying stuff, but I don't know. Like I downplay a lot of stuff I do but I have to stop, because I be feeling like, because the money doesn't match, like I ain't do shit yet.
Okay, well tell us. So let's practice now.
Yeah.
Okay, because you said you stopping.
Turn off the humility filter.
So turn it off.
Oh my goodness.
What they say? I can't think of what the kids are saying about it now.
Flex.
No. They say it's a phrase. They say you supposed to clap your hands with it at the same time. I can't think of it. But just say your shit. Do your thing. Tell us, everything. Run down.
I mean, I'm Kirby. I do comedy. I'm a filmmaker. My last film I did was called Dick for a Day. It actually placed Dick for a Day. It placed in the ABFF Film Festival. Came number 2, Miami Film Festival. It's done its film festival run. I have 3 books published, 10 written, 30 scripts written. You know, it's just money. Like I would like, but I'm trying to figure out a way to like do micro size things until I'm able to do like the macro, because it's like just start small. That's why I be telling everybody like do what you can with your phone, because the thing that inspired me, like just put like a battery in my back recently. I was watching an interview with Country Wayne.
Yes, I seen that interview.
This dude said he makes $500,000 a month. I call all my comedian friends like, y'all, Country Wayne said he made $500,000 a month doing the skits. We need to start, but it's like people don't be like, they don't be taking stuff seriously or have that drive. So like I'm to the point where I'm just doing stuff by myself now, because I'm like, if he making $500,000, I don't even if I don't get that, you know, I want what's for me. But even if I get a fraction of that, like, and just be consistent, and he's using his phone. Yep. I mean, so actually, it don't take all that.
I'm gonna tell you this. I think it's the area, guys. It's the area, because I don't know what it is about Atlanta, and it's crazy because nobody's from Atlanta anyway.
Right.
According to Amaretta, we ain't from Atlanta anyway. But comedian friends and stuff in LA, in New York, especially LA, they're making content, and it's the same group of people. And we here in Atlanta sharing, we got the same, if not even more talented people because it's a melting pot. And we can't come together. It ain't no group.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? I remember, you guys remember Dormtainment?
Yeah.
Okay, I love Dormtainment. I grew up on Dormtainment. Yeah, and I just like their story and to watch them and their growth and how, I mean,
because they lived here and they got out of here real quick.
Didn't they? I mean, the moment they left out of here, though, that's when they started doing it. Yeah, and then they're acting and writing and doing all these different things. But it's something about, I feel like the collective energy that we have in Atlanta. So don't give up. You just have to find the right group of people. I think that's where I'm at right now, is trying to figure out with the energy, because I'm just a little battery, a little AA battery on my own. But if I can be, it put into like a bigger machine, it's no telling what we can
it don't take a lot. It's just people have to want it as bad as you. And even if people don't, like, I'm learning to like, what can you do on your own? What can you do on your own? Like when I was telling you, when I see certain stuff, I like to, like, when I see something I think could go, I tell people, like, I love to share information, and I just, like, if I believe in it, because I ain't gonna tell, because some people, I see people doing stuff, it ain't shit, and I just keep on scrolling, like, whatever, do your thing, you gonna figure it out. But when I see you do your Thought Boy stuff, it's like a couple things, and I be telling Sonny, I'm like, you have the power to have one of the biggest brands, because it's so unique. Trap Nerd, like, he was doing
you wasn't following me last summer, huh?
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
It really is.
It's hilarious.
So I got the idea to go back to the 83 Laker shorts, because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, why is it taboo for guys' thighs to be out? Like, that's just, it's like, it's hot. Wow.
Don't just talk about the thighs now. You talk about the midriff too.
Well, I did have a cutoff shirt, but that's I got bigger into it, because at first it was like, the shorts. I was like, I'm already gonna get talked about for the shorts. And then it was like, I might as well go full fledged and start making crop tops.
And it was hilarious.
And that did get more response than I thought it was going to get.
I told him. I said, when I seen it, I hit him up. I say, do it, and do it as a reel. And he was like, shit, I got 10,000 views on this. I ain't even expect. Like, I was like, keep mashing the gas. Like, when you see what's working, like, keep mashing the gas. But even just show Trap Nerd, like, I love that because it's, you embody Trap Nerd.
And he's got a brilliant idea of how he wants to, because he's not the only trap nerd.
That's what I'm saying. That's like, and they say the riches are in the niches. So you could niche that down so much and find your tribe of people. Like, cause what was that thing that you dress up? Is it Dragon Con or something? Is that like stuff like that? Like, that's your audience and stuff. It's black people who go to that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those type of people who listen to trap music, but also like watch anime.
Right.
I don't know what the hell an anime is, but I'm like starting to learn that it's a lot of black people who are into that. And I didn't know that, And so that's your whole tribe of people. But it's like, they try to make it like the Atlanta comedy scene try to make like they hate when you do different stuff, but it's like you have to be different because everybody doing the same thing. Right. So when I seen your stuff, I'm like, I just be waiting for him to get it, for it to click. Because I'm like, trap nerd, that's you. Like, you really, Sonny really is smart, but he probably know how to cook crack too. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You know, like, he really is a scholar and then could be in the trap.
Swanky,
you know, so that's amazing, because everybody can't do that.
What Sonny needs is more people to tell him, to remind him of that, who he is.
Yeah, get around from them crabs. And that's the, like, man, comedy is brutal. Like, it's I love the culture, but it's also brutal because people can't kill your dreams because they don't see the vision, but you just gotta, like, do your own thing, and they gonna have to catch on later. They're gonna have to catch on. But I was like, Sonny has the makings to have, like, one of the biggest brands, like,
I agree.
Trap Nerd.
I appreciate that.
So when's the next video? We gonna have you know.
Oh no, Thought Boy Summer coming back. I done bought new shorts and everything.
Yeah. It look like you done lost some of your bellies. You know, you done lost weight.
That means I gotta get the dad bod back.
But yeah, so
he got the new look. I mean, well, since you know from the beginning, so he might have looked like that before. I don't know. He looked like 10 years ago or whatever. Yeah.
But I've either always had a fro or.
I'm gonna give you your flowers too, right? So I remember when I met you. Remember what Cloud9?
Yes.
So one thing
place?
Yeah,
it used to be. Okay. It's not no more.
That was a spot
on Peter
On
Street.
Peter
Vanessa
Street.
Fraction used to host the open mic. That was one of the first places that I actually started meeting comedians and actually getting time. Like that was Cloud9 was so dope because like if you go to Cats and you get bumped, you're gonna get mad about it.
Yeah.
If you went to Cloud9 and got bumped, you understood because you would be like,
that was a spot.
Yeah,
that was a spot.
You're like, you didn't expect anybody to show up, but all of a sudden, Tiffany Haddish would come before she got real big, just because her and Vanessa were friends. So Tiffany Haddish would come and close out the show, and nobody knew who she was, but we knew she was hilarious. And then a couple years,
I couldn't differentiate them two at first.
Yeah,
from Chicago, and their voice sounds so similar to each other.
Right.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say about you, like, just what I always loved about Sonny, because like starting off. Bombing, you a bomb, but Sonny will come in that bitch every week, confident, hell high, like, yeah, I'm going. You want to go up? Yeah, I want to go up, and he'll be on bomb so bad, but he would go on stage every week, confident as hell, like, and I just always admired that because, like I said before, I was like living in that fear, so it was like, damn. I used to always say, I wish I had Sonny's confidence. I used to always say that, like. He'll come in there like and will bomb, because we knew. So that's just a part of the game. But he didn't care. Like, you want to go outside? Yep.
And now Sonny is bombs very rarely.
Yeah, he
kills every stage that he go. I mean, I've yet to see Sonny
solidified.
Yes. Like, for real, I've not seen,
because those moments and just make you so strong, and people be afraid of that. And I used to always say, I wish I had that confidence, because he would just go up there like, I don't care, I'm finna get these jokes off. Like, you can laugh or not, but I'm finna touch that mic. So
we talked about bombing. And since you brought it up, how do you handle bombing, or how would you tell a new comedian how to handle bombing? I know how you do it, Sonny, because I've gone to Sonny like,
yeah, I never really necessarily bombed per se, but
you've never bombed?
Not really.
And mind you, in comedy, see, bombing is different than like sometimes you'll get a no reaction, which is just nobody reacting, and somebody will be like, you bombed. That's not a bomb.
Yeah.
If I've had chicken wings thrown at me, that's a bomb.
I would get no reaction, but what it was not being comfortable, thinking that because a person's not responding, I'm not being funny. So I would get in my head about that. But when I used to get off stage, they're like, you rushed off stage and you fumbled, but they was really listening and you thought you were bombing.
So not getting a reaction is not bombing.
No.
Sometimes they so into the story they just listening, but that silence could frazzle you. It really can.
It can.
And it used to frazzle me because I guess I was kind of like storytelling at one point, and they would just be listening, and I'm like, oh, I'm not getting no reaction. I used to be so afraid of the silence. I would almost cause myself to like bomb. The audience wouldn't give me the bomb. I would give myself the bomb because in my head I'm thinking, oh, this ain't funny.
They didn't laugh.
They didn't laugh, but just because a person doesn't laugh doesn't mean like you wasn't funny. Sometimes you just telling a story and they so enthralled with the story and they just listening.
That's why I tell young comedians the best advice that someone gave me when I was up and coming was don't worry about being funny, worry about being interesting. Because you can always bounce back if you're interesting, but if you're not interesting, so you can be interesting and not funny and nobody's going to pay any attention. They just going to be like, okay, that was funny. But if you're interesting, they'll follow you rather or not. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, she was, getting no reaction, but that's because they were actually paying attention. Not because, because if they weren't paying attention. So anyway, girl, I don't care about,
But then I would cause myself to like do bad because I'm in my head like, oh, they not reacting to me. Like, and when them lights on you and you just see the crowd, they just looking at you, you think you bombing, but it's like you not. And it take comedians to be like, you wasn't bombing, like they was listening. So
you just got off stage.
But it's done been times I got off a stage and that song Lonely. I'm so lonely. You just feel so sad when you don't do well, and it's like that song always plays in my head. Like if I don't do well, I'm just like, and they be trying to talk to you, you just be like,
right.
But you trying to be a good sport and not leave because then you're going to look bad if you leave. They're like, oh, you went shit tonight. But you got to kind of stay there and people talk shit about you. So that'd be the hard part. It'd be the comedians afterwards. You wasn't shit tonight.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
But again, comedy is so here I am. This is my 15th year in the game.
Damn.
My 12th year.
Hey, congratulations.
In Atlanta. But the comedians, so like when we, first met, like the comedians that seen me at that stage that you're talking about where it was just constant bombing.
Yeah.
They ain't seen me do nothing else since, or they haven't paid attention. So now if they see me, they still using those memories to judge me. Yeah. And that pisses me off. Yeah. I cannot like they still introduce me as Sonny Too Funny. I haven't been Sonny Too Funny.
Damn, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I haven't been Sonny Too Funny since like 2013.
Yeah. And that was the funny part. Because when you were bomb, like that was your stage name. That was so hilarious to me. Like Sonny Too Funny. That was hilarious.
But that's the thing I don't like about. I think that's entertainment, period. But like people always, they have this box they put you in based off of when they met you. So it's comedians that haven't even, they're not giving each other the flowers like we're doing because they're not even recognizing each other's growth. They're like, oh, I still remember when you was getting chicken wings thrown at you. That was 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm a whole headliner now.
Right.
Did somebody really throw chicken wings at you?
Oh man, my very first set was on a Marine base. And they threw the whole tray, the whole government issue tray. Damn. I'm talking about at my feet. When I got finished with my set, there was at least 15 trays.
Hey,
now, I'm not gonna say his name, but there's another comedian that when we first started, we didn't really mess with each other, but we've grown over the years. Yeah. He went down to Doodoo Brown's spot.
Oh yeah.
And got actual chicken bones thrown at him. Like they took them off the plate. At least to me, they threw the whole plate. Yeah. They actually took the bones off the plate to throw at him.
Oh my God.
Damn. Yeah, comedy could be.
And what other industry, what other job can we take? Could we take something like that other than comedy? No other.
It make you strong for life.
It do.
It make you so strong for life because people be on the plane trying to say stuff or online. Like I'm getting bullied now. Like I'm getting like bullied for my podcast because like it be the men. They so sensitive. They be so sensitive, and it's like, yo, I do comedy. Like I done been in a roast session. Like a comedian will tear you down if you get it. They throw your ass in that roast circle. Like look at you, what you wearing ain't shit. You look horrible today. Like you built, like. And so I appreciate it now because it really makes you tough and it makes you stronger. So it's like these internet people, what they say, but they get so offended online. Like if they don't agree with stuff, like I've had hate mail, I've had stuff on TikTok, and then they come find me on Instagram, they come find me on Facebook, and then they'll do a whole YouTube video about something I said. I'm like, damn, you really pressed. But it's like if you talking, like I must be doing something
you got their attention.
So
That's
it's
it.
like you came and found my personal Facebook page, like tried to add me, like, oh, why you didn't add me? I just want to talk to you about something. I'm like, you been talking shit about me on all these different platforms. What do you want to talk to me about?
I was gonna say I've had somebody who they disagreed with me so bad that they made a YouTube video, but then they tagged me in the video. Yeah. I'm sitting here like,
yeah, they get upset. The internet is so weird because it's just like, it messes with your comedy because we so politically correct now. And I remember like back in the days, like 2009, Twitter, like we was saying anything,
reckless,
like we was wild. I mean, I'm glad there's a little bit of censorship because we really was saying whatever.
That's back when.
But we can't say nothing now. We can't say nothing, and it's like you gotta edit yourself.
I stay in Facebook jail. I'm an official Facebook felon.
Recidivist. When you keep going back, you're a recidivist. I'm a recidivist. That's how I know.
Yeah.
The last time I got put in Facebook jail 2 months ago was because somebody had put that picture up from Tales from the Hood, the one that the dolls come to life from.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what the dolls were called. The dolls are called Nigglets. Yeah. This is my favorite movie from like the past 30 years. Yeah. So all I said was, they're called Nigglets. Next thing I know, that's against Facebook's community standards. You can't comment for 30 days. I'm like, all I did was tell him the name of the character.
Right. The Nigglets.
Yeah, so he can come on and share the picture, but I can't tell him the dolls are called Nigglets.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I find the most trouble with the groups. I got kicked out of I'm in a lot of gardening groups and stuff like that, and like the suburban mom groups. Why I'm in those groups? I'm a mom and I live in the suburbs, but I don't qualify for any other way. But I was in this one group because I like to garden, and somebody posted. I'm trying to think. I may have posted something that looked a little bit similar to marijuana or whatever. It wasn't marijuana, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
And it got me in trouble. Like they don't like jokes in that group. The gardening groups and the breastfeeding mom groups.
Yeah, Facebook is
Facebook groups. Yeah,
Facebook. The culture on there, like everybody just super offended and. Yeah,
you got to learn the cheat codes.
Yeah.
So now, like, because I used to be a serial arguer.
Yeah.
But now, if you either got like a cartoon or an anime or all black as your, I'm not about to go back on because you are a whole fake account. You purposely came on here to find somebody to argue with.
That's how TikTok is. It's just numbers. If you don't have a name, it's just numbers, and it's like those be the most offensive. Like you don't even got no videos up here for me to even try to say nothing back. But I don't even like. I had to stop myself because after this one guy came and found me on I'm like, yo, people are crazy. And you gonna know me before I know you, so I try not to like get on people's level because it's like you could kill me, and I wouldn't even know it was coming. I don't know what you look like, so I'm just like I don't even be going back and forth for people.
You thinking it's just some internet shit? This nigga done pulled up all your.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, nah, I'm not finna.
Right.
Yeah, like people could do that, and the Google tells all your information.
I had somebody a guy follow me at the gym. I used to work out. I stopped tagging myself at
I
places.
had to stop doing that.
Yeah, I used to, and I'll tag myself after I'm at a place. But I used to go to the gym every day, and I used to go at a certain time in the morning, and out in Tequila, and it'd be like 5:00 in the morning. I used to go, and I was faithful, and I was faithful not because I had a decent following of other people who would, and I needed accountability, Yeah. And I was getting out of my car one day, and I just happened to drop something, and I hear somebody calling me by my Instagram screen name. not my name, not even Bella. It was just like Diary of an 80s Baby. I'm like, what the fuck? It's 5:00 in the morning. I just want to talk to you. And I had the fear in me, and it was still dark, kind of. I was like, who? And to this day, I still have no idea who that person was and how they found me or what their intention was. I don't know, but I wasn't trying to figure it out that day. Yeah. But I understand.
Especially as a woman, you got to be careful.
What's real crazy? So as somebody who has a daughter, so I've observed certain behaviors in men over the past couple of years, and I hate that this happens to y'all, but I've seen that actually quite often. Yeah. And the thing that scares me the most is if y'all go report it, the police pretty much go, well, he's harmless, or well, he hasn't done this yet. So
something has to happen first.
Yeah. And that to me, as someone with a daughter, scares the crap out of me, because you follow my daughter to the gym at 5 a.m. If she calls me, I'm going to jail for, whatever. Yeah. Even though the police will be like, oh, he didn't do nothing. But that's scary that guys that people, I'm going to say people, even though I don't think guys have that experience as much as y'all do. Yeah. But it's scary that people can do that, and then there's such a little gray area of, well, did they put their hands on you? Yeah. Or did they actually show up on your property? Did they? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, this person has my entire schedule somehow and is showing up to all of the places. Like, would you handle this before something happens?
Exactly. And that's why shit happens. Crazy out here.
There's that the documentary Fat Tuesday on
Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, it's so inspiring if you get a chance to see it. Basically, it's talking about like the introduction or the merger in hip hop and comedy. Out in LA, and so Fat Tuesdays. So Fat Tuesdays was a comedy night that Guy Tori had started for black comedians. And so they basically just had a bunch of comedians who were involved in that time, and that I don't know how old you are, but I'm pretty sure you ain't as old as that, to remember something like that. But if Atlanta did something like that, you guys will be a part of like the Black Tuesday of, not like the Fat Tuesday of like Atlanta.
Actually, that reminds me, one of the people who was on it, Myra J, she lives out here. I remember her. That's one of my mentors. And both of y'all, I feel like would have a great conversation with her. Yeah. But shouts out to Myra J.
She's still working.
That's the crazy thing. She pops out for like little apparent reunion appearances and stuff like that. But she don't really go on like the road or nothing that often.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. All right. Yeah. Okay. So we have a lot of OGs in the game, men. Okay, and then we have equally funny, if not even funnier, women, OGs in the game. But where are they? They're not touring consistently. And one of the things that I've noticed is that women, and maybe I don't know if you see it something different. Do you see like the OGs? Like the men kind of stick together, even like white men. Yeah. You see like the white men in the movies, the David Spades and all them. They came up in the same little class or the same little season and stuff, and they pull each other in. They working together. They in the same skits. They're the same. You see that right within white men. You see that within black men and comedians, and they pull each other up. You know what I'm saying? They always giving each other jobs. And women, where does that exist? Do you see that? Have you noticed
I was talking about this on my podcast, but it wasn't necessarily about comedy. But society is not kind to aging women. So like once women get older to a certain age, it's like you thrown away. Like men could go date younger women. Of course they gotta have money, but still. But ain't really no older women really trying to like date no younger men. But like I said, society is crueler to like aging women because you kind of lose your space in society. It's like you not this hot fox no more. So I really don't see a place for you. And yeah, like the men do stick together. A lot of men simply just don't find women comedians funny. And I hate to say this, y'all don't hate me for this, but I particularly like don't find a lot of female comedians funny myself. I know people, it's controversial, But it's like,
how you feel.
It's like a lot of them have the same blueprint, and like Rodney Perry say, don't dick and pussy me to death, because that's what most of them be talking about. So it's like, if you do a all female comedy show, and this one talking about dick and pussy, this one talking about dick and pussy, by the time the last person come out, you done been dick and pussy to death.
Yeah.
Where's the Rodney Perry? So it's like, that's why but when I do see a funny female comedian, I give her props, because I'm like, that was new and that was refreshing, or just find a different way to like convey the dick and pussy jokes, but it's like a lot of women be talking about the same things, and not to say men don't do that, but it's kind of like it's a little different. They feed it to you differently.
Well, so my input on that is, with women, I've noticed, and this goes beyond comedy, you all usually are society makes you all fight for spots.
Yeah.
Whereas as men, we're just allowed in spots.
Yep.
There can only be one of you all in a certain spot at a certain time. We've already got the classy, funny black chick. So now we need the raunchy or nobody at all. You know what I'm saying? They make you all put yourselves in boxes, and then then we only have space for this one person in this one box at this one time.
Even when you get introduced, it's like, okay, you could have a line full of guys. Okay, next up we got a female coming. We got a female comedian coming. Why you got to introduce me as a female? Why I just can't be another comic coming up?
So when I host, I now acknowledge that. I'm like, I got another comic coming up. We're trying to be we're trying to be gender inclusive. So I'm not gonna tell you that it's the female comedian. I'm just gonna say we got a comedian with ovaries coming up or something.
She got titties. Yeah.
Well, no, they gonna see those. I don't want to sexualize. I just want to. I'm just making a joke about the fact that there is that whole, like you said, we got a female coming up, because to me that's only important if you're got a mainly female event and the males aren't doing too well. The only time saying we have a female comic to me is relevant is if you are like, okay, well, we're bringing a female up and they really weren't paying attention to these first two guys, so hopefully they pay attention to her. But other than that, I don't feel the need myself to say this is a female comedian.
Yeah, usually it's just one. Like you said, it's just one. Like, it'll be an all male lineup, and then they may invite that one
first one
who they know.
Female.
Yeah, and then it's like it's that one who they know. It ain't really opportunities like that. So like, you just gotta create your own opportunities. That's where I'm at with it. Like, cause like comedy is so weird. Like, that's why I didn't do the grind like that. Like, get on stage every night, because we all know it's some beast out here, and it's like, yo, you still coming out here to open mic, which is cool, but you doing these shows and you getting paid like $100, and like you want that. They really want them $100. Like when we had our room and we was paying $100, we had like big comedians and they really wanted them $100. And it's like, you too funny to like this be like this $100 show, And I was like, I don't want to be that. You could be the funniest comedian, but it's like you living for these shows. You waiting for someone to call you and determine whether or not you eat. And I just didn't want to be like that. I was like, I don't want for someone else to discover me and just determine whether or not I work or not. So what can I produce on my own? What can I create on my own that's going to give me some money, as opposed to waiting for my phone to ring? Because you listen to all them stories of the old school comedian. Yeah, my phone didn't ring for 5 years. I was down. So you didn't do nothing? Like, that's what I'm saying. But they don't do nothing. Like, a lot of them be like, I'm too far gone to be able to work a regular job. Like, I can't do that no more.
Go back to life.
And so, so it's like you just like living in poverty, like not doing nothing, not working, like not creating. And so I was like, I don't want to be like that.
I feel like that's pride. But you know what? I take it. Well, let me say. I guess you see the question really is. Well, Tiffany Haddish is doing that. Tiffany Haddish is like, now she at a position where she's pulling. She kind of pulling people up and stuff, and she'll do like the she readies and stuff and shining light on people. But like the tour that Vivica Fox is doing,
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
But apparently Vivica Fox not even really doing it. They just slapped her name on it. Another comedian is actually the mastermind behind that female tour. But because Vivica Fox got a name and they have a relationship.
Is it selling tickets?
Yeah, it's selling out. It's like an all-female show. Okay. Kelly Kells and some other.
I think Miss Pat's on it, ain't she?
No, I think she beyond that at this point. She bigger than that. TV show. And that's the thing. That's another thing that's different now. It was like even in white comedies and white comedians and stuff, or men Asians, the goal is different. The goal then was like you get on Carson, you get a show, you get a TV show.
We don't have anything like what do we have now? What do comedians have to strive for?
We don't. We had Def Jam. We ain't got that no more. We had Comic View. We don't have that no more.
Yep.
So now it's basically like even I'm a fan of All Def Digital, but at no point
is that still around?
It is.
Okay.
And I find their segments hilarious, but they're a clique.
Yeah,
there's no, my aspiration is to go be on All Def Digital. It's like they found they clique of comedians, they're working cool. Yeah. So there's not really a place now to have a goal of.
That's what I'm saying.
But what's switched up is now the goal is how to do these things with your social media. So now instead of people going, my goal is to go to New York or my goal is to go to LA, it's my goal is to have 3 million viewers and be able to monetize my page and da.
And then that's the tricky part too, because man, I just wish I could have saw it for what it was gonna be
in the beginning.
Yeah, because I was still on that old school, like, well, I'm finna be on stage, but it's like that we didn't know that was dying out. So it's like, what do you have to strive for now? Like, we should have been building our following, but we didn't care about that because we was listening to the old heads.
We was real comedians.
We was real comedians, but you don't get real money like that,
right? So now we sitting here being real and broke. Meanwhile, all the internet comedians
making the money.
It's a way.
Doing shows. So that's what I've been trying to figure out. I'm like, for one, this is what I've been saying this for years. Like when we used to do our room, when we used to have Ripset Comedy, I was like, comedy needs something new. It's been the same machine. You have your opener, your feature, and your headliner. No matter how funny they are, it's the same show. Like if you've been to a comedy show, like we need different stuff. So I didn't see her special, but I heard like Amanda Seales was doing something like that, and I heard like Lil Duval, he has like a variety show or whatever where he's incorporating the music and his comedy.
Not new.
Yeah, it's like not Flip new, Wilson but it was so far long ago that people were doing that. Yeah, so it's like it looks like it's new now, but I've been saying for a long time, comedy needs a facelift. Because
stuff like Wild Now with like,
but that stuff been on for 15, 20 years now, to the point where all the games and the jokes and stuff like that. So it's like it needs like how music forever is evolving, like comedy needs to evolve as well, because like once you like really be on the comedy scene, you like, okay, this person funny, but I done seen it before. Like nothing's new. Like it's not inspiring me. Like, so I don't know. I'm just trying to like, that's why I stepped back for a little while. Cause I'm like, how do I want to present myself like to the world? Like,
oh yeah. When you uninspired, that's definitely the time to, I can't stand when somebody's uninspired and still forcing themselves through it. Cause you can tell.
Yeah.
And that's it's like, this isn't even, you
gotta build yourself up now. So that's why I started doing my podcast and stuff. Like I want to start back doing, because I just enjoy creating, but it's like you have to build up your social media following, but it's like they fuck with the algorithm so much, you can't even get organic growth no more, for real. So it's like everything is like a paywall, like you got to pay for ads, and it's just like, damn, how do you grow? Because you have to be on social media now. But it's like the social media sites are like, Instagram played out, if you want to be honest.
Oh, it's on its way out.
That shit like played out, So it's like, damn, what now? It's like
my biggest following is on Facebook, and Facebook is now the granddaddy page. Like it's like 2 months from being MySpace. Yeah. Like as soon as Tom sends me a friend request, I know it's just a wrap. It's time to get rid of this.
That's what messed me up too, because my biggest following was on Facebook, but Facebook's so closed. It's like it's just limited to your friends and family and like people who are your friends.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it's like Instagram dead because they all about ass and like, so you don't even reach nobody on Instagram. But it's like TikTok. You got to get on TikTok before it turns into something else.
And then TikTok to me, like, I just don't feel like putting all that effort into. I just want to share a quick joke with y'all. I don't want filters. I don't want to have to change my voice and everything.
You could do that.
But I feel like it's not gonna get. It don't get. I feel like TikTok. It's not gonna get no attention on TikTok like that.
You'll be surprised. You just gotta find your thing, and whatever like does well, you gotta keep doing it.
Let me tell y'all. Okay, so everybody, regardless of how you say it, but everybody has some little niche or some little kink or weird thing that they are attracted to on social media. Yeah. And it don't matter what it is, like, or something that either they like to watch or something that gets them gets them emotional. For me, okay, I got two things. So the thing that gets me emotional or break me down every single time is when the dogs be coming, when the military people come home to their dogs. Yeah. Oh my God, that shit breaks me down every time. And when the babies get the hearing aids for the first time, oh my God, fucks me up. Okay, so those are my two things. And then I have the little quirky things. Please don't ever repeat this. That I like to watch.
Please don't repeat this while we're recording this episode.
Right. Look, that I like to watch. And when it's this dude on TikTok and he freaking peels eggs.
Oh my goodness!
Listen, he likes to peel. I know he peels eggs on live, and
you could do anything. Yeah, I be telling people that.
He has millions of people sending him flowers and gifts and all these. And he's monetizing this, and I be watching my dumb. Oh shit, he on live. Oh, listen to me. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to wrap up what I'm doing so I can watch this white man. His voice is so soothing, and he has these little tools and these little kits and stuff. Wow. And my two-year-old, she likes to watch people crushing things, not people crushing, but like machines crushing things down, or she likes to watch big monster trucks rolling over toys and stuff like that. She's 2 years old, and that's what she likes to watch. She goes on her device and she goes and she finds those little videos, and she likes to watch.
I want to find that thing for me.
What do you like to watch, and what would you create? What would you think that you would create?
Before you answer that, think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because my problem isn't even necessarily. My problem is just consistency. If I don't get the reaction I feel like I should get the first couple of times, I get discouraged, and rather it's purposeful or not, But watching, like you said, watching the people that we watched coming up, Country Wayne has only been really famous for the past 3 years, but he's been doing those videos since Vine. Vine's now come and gone. Yeah. DC Young Fly was hot on Vine. Yeah. So it's really these people that at first, just like I'm afraid of, they were only getting 10, 20 views on their videos, but they kept consistently, because there's an audience for everything.
It's an audience for everything.
That was my point in saying that, that even if they change the algorithm, they could change the algorithm every day and every hour, but your people are going to find you no matter what. And just like that man that be picking that egg on live, guess what? My dumb ass be finding him every single time.
So since we talking about weird kinks or whatever,
I got a weird one.
Okay, so mine is. So I don't know who's decided to do this, but in the past 2 years, they've started recording people just getting checkups at the doctor's office. Yeah. And I love seeing somebody, because I love going to a doctor's office, and as soon as they put that stethoscope on me, I'm just, Yeah. Really? So I found videos of other people like you, like just getting, that, and I'm like, oh, that looks so, put the stethoscope right there. Yes. So now you'll come to my house at random, and I just have random, physical checkup videos going on. Like,
I feel that. I feel that.
Check that blood pressure. Yes. Oh, those cuffs.
I feel that. Something I was into, this not my weird one, but something I was into before everybody was ASMR. People just now figuring out it. Like 8 years ago, I was like, does anybody watch ASMR? No likes, nothing. Nobody would ever comment. Now it's like, oh yeah, I listen to ASMR. But I don't know how I found this weird little thing that I be watching now. It's so nasty. But I like to watch people get earwax removed.
Oh, the ear candling. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people doing that. Not even the candling,
they'll have like this little tool and they'll pull it out and they'll be just like this big gunk of like wax and stuff. And it's like, the satisfying part is like when they pull it out and they place it down, you just hear like a little thud. It's like, damn, you had all that wax in your ear. It's weird. I don't even know why I like that shit. But it's like, I be cringing the whole time, but it's like, I can't look away. It's like, I need to see you pull it out. But when they stop the video before they place it down, I'm like, you didn't complete the video. Like, but I love seeing people get their earwax removed. I don't know why.
Everybody got something.
That's why Dr. Pimple Poplar is pop. I remember I used to watch my dad and his younger sister, my aunt, you know, that was like a ritual for them where he would take his shirt off and she would just come over and just start like popping pimples on his back. And I remember as a kid just being so grossed out by that and being like, I can never tell anybody this happens in my family. And then 20 years later, there's whole TV shows about it. I'm just like, who and why? But again, there is an audience for everything. You just got to be consistent and those people will find you.
So my point in saying that is because I feel like the interview went a little dark. It went a little dark at some point. So, but my point in saying is just so we can remind ourselves that even if if only just the three of you make a video and just the three of us watching it, that's just right now. You know what I'm saying? I find myself going back to people's older content. Yep. It might not be as good as the new stuff because they worked and polished and stuff, but I find myself going back to the people that I like the old stuff.
I don't even like super produced stuff.
Yeah,
I like the real raw.
Yeah,
that's why I like amateur.
Say it, girl. Like, yeah, I feel you.
Give me the shaky camera.
I too enjoy.
Give me that real stuff, right? The paint peeling on the wall, like
If I see a boom mic, it's
I'm not gonna lie to you. No. So since we talking on that, I love when the room's dirty.
Oh no!
It's real.
When you can see the pile of dirty clothes on the floor, I'm like, yes, this is that real.
You wow. But yeah, but to your point with the so like on TikTok, I had a couple videos go viral, right? Okay. And like what happened was so I study stuff because like that's just the Virgo on me. Because I was like, they say you need to be on TikTok, so I'm watching like the popular people on TikTok. And it's so simple. It was so simple. It was hard for me. I was like, I don't know how to operate. Like they was doing the most simple things and 30 million views on a video. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know how to make simple shit like this. Or my brain just wouldn't let me. So then I learned it was two types of people on TikTok. You're either producing the content or you're recreating the content. Like people do a duet with you, like they'll redo your voice and stuff. I said, well, I don't want to be famous for redoing somebody else's stuff, so I want to put my own content out there. So I was trying little stuff, and then I just put like a little clip of like my podcast. I had shot the video like 9 months ago, so I just put a little clip out there because I was putting stuff up there, wasn't doing nothing. The first 2 videos I did, they got flagged, they got like 10,000 views, so I'm like, okay, they just like when I'm talking and stuff, so let me put more stuff like just me talking. And so I just put like a little clip of my podcast up there, and then the next morning like that thing going crazy, so I started putting more clips and people responding to it. But I had stopped the podcast at that point. So I'm like, let me start recording more episodes because they're responding to this. But it was so crazy because that video was so old. Like, so you never know, like, what people gonna find.
True.
And that's why it's good. But when they do find you want to have a whole bunch of stuff that they could go back and binge on, because if you only got that 1 video or 2 videos, like you really technically have 15 seconds of fame for real, because you don't have nothing else for them to binge on. So you want to just create your catalog so that when it does get discovered, you already got stuff. But it's just like it really is consistency. People see you consistent because it's like we on our phones all day. After you watch your certain people that you watch, it's like what else? You gotta find something new to watch.
They gonna recommend that you find something else. That's when you start learning about tagging and stuff like that. Yeah.
So it's like you just gotta I'm still trying to figure shit out. I'm still trying to figure out, like, it's just, you just gotta put stuff out and be consistent.
It's crazy you say that because, like, you know, the Country Waynes and all of them, I follow them, and I noticed that, like, you know, maybe when I first started following them, they did have a page full, but now they've reduced their page to like maybe 5 of their funniest videos. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, should I be doing that? Should I be taking off? But then it's like, but again, like you said, I I done got a massive string of likes from something that'd be like 106 weeks ago.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. It may be that hashtag they found. I'm like, how y'all found these videos from 3 years ago? It's probably the hashtag I use, and you never know. So it's like, just keep it. But you know what's so weird? Comedians have some of the most boring pages on social media.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Like, okay, comedians, like, give us a little example.
Like, for instance, some comedians, like, you're supposed to be this funny person, but all you have on your page is flyers saying, I'm finna be at this show. Yeah. But how do I know you're funny? And what makes me want to come to this show if you don't show me that you're funny? Like, there's nothing. I hate when I go on a comedian's page and it's just a bunch of flyers. It's like.
Worse than that for me is memes. I can't stand when I go on a comedian's page and it's all reshared memes. And you're supposed
to be the original person, the creator, but you don't even show this.
Okay, so memes. All right, so I honestly, because I used to be reckless, and I'm a creator of a lot of memes.
Yeah.
A lot of memes.
And that you ain't getting no credit for?
Oh, me too.
We're part of that club.
Right.
Me, her, and Marlon Ballard are part of
that club. I get it. Look, so, and it just...
You have to keep creating.
You got to keep creating, but you also have. You can. I'm following with this dude. I'm friends with this guy, and he is very. He called himself the king of memes, but he is very butthurt. I understand it. Okay, I don't originate a lot of memes I seen on went viral. He would call celebrities out. That was my meme. You ain't even talk to me about it. And it's like, I just want, boy, take the titty out your mouth. Yeah. Like, he is such a big. He say, "Soulja Boy told his name." Let me stop.
Yeah. I mean,
but no, he is upset that he's not getting the notoriety.
People don't give you credit on social media no more. That's why it's hard. Like, at one point when I was growing a lot on social media, it's because that was back in the days when people used to like be like, oh, go follow her, she funny, she be saying some crazy stuff. But now people just steal, like, it's a whole share button, but they rather copy and paste because everybody, like I say, comedy is a new rap. Everybody want to be funny. At one point everybody had a mixtape, everybody got a skit now, you know what I'm saying? Like, comedy is a new rap. Everybody want to be funny, and social media has made everybody want to be like famous. So it's like, instead of like being original and the creator, I'm gonna just go take this person's stuff and pretend that it's mine. Like, I don't even like people's stuff no more because I'm like, for one, I know you got this off of Twitter. Yeah. And as soon as I like somebody's stuff, it's like I see the status 10 times. Like, again, I'm like, damn, I thought you was the. I'm giving you props for being clever.
And this probably came from someplace else.
And it came from Twitter,
right?
And that's the issue that a lot of like comedians specifically are having on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because I saw this guy rehash a comedian's skit from the 90s.
Ooh, yeah.
Nobody recognized it, but I recognized it. Or maybe early 2000s.
Yeah,
because I'm a lover of comedy. You know what I'm saying? But he rehashed it word for it. You know, these people, you can lip sync and make it look on point. Like, you would never ever thought they were not the originator.
Yeah.
And people, this guy got famous because of that. And people were like, calling. I wasn't like, this is not you. This is such and such word. And of course, I get flagged for bullying. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people are having that issue.
It's
comedians.
Hard. It's hard.
And it's funny that even copying memes and other people's jokes has become a culture in and of itself. Because when social media first kicked off, the people that I called social media Facebook comedians were the ones who were taking jokes off of TV shows, and then maybe their group of friends doesn't watch this show, so they were sharing it back as if they themselves wrote it. Like, I recognize, I was like the only black kid in school who watched Frasier.
Yeah, I think so.
So, so somebody comes on with a joke that I recognize from Frasier, and it's getting all these likes and stuff, and I'm like, that is funny because I remember seeing it 20 years ago, but that's not your joke.
Exactly. Yep. People don't even care no more. It's like they don't care. And so, but imagine if people would like just credit you, how much bigger we would be.
Oh, yeah. But folks can't.
But that's the thing, though. When we say we want credit, but then we shun like the $100 shows. You see what I'm saying? Like the shows that we get for when we get like $100 and we want to see those. So it's like it's as creative people, we just never happy. We just never satisfied. It's just, I just feel like, I don't know, like, because if somebody did credit you, it's no monetary value in that, but it is it gets you
that a following. So that when you do go do your live shows, or if you are selling something ticketed, or a person has become a fan of your work, But it's like people can't become fans of you no more because they don't know that you're the originator of that, you know? So it's like, you thinking this person, like the guy, he got famous off of that. They probably think, oh, he is so clever and funny. But it's like this person over here who really does comedy and trying to get themselves off the ground, not even getting credit. So it's like,
or he having the original comedian. I don't even remember who it is now, but he ain't got. But you ain't seen him on. You ain't seen him since Comic View.
Yeah, but it's still it's still my intellectual property though.
Right, I know, but my point is like he can't even get booked. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's even checking for him right now.
Money. It takes money out of your mouth when a person steals your stuff, because it's like you didn't even allow me to capitalize off of my own stuff because you decided. Like, so I take a lot of offense when people steal my stuff, because it's like I didn't even get to like capitalize off of this how I want to, or now I can't tell this joke because they're thinking I'm a hack.
They're gonna think
they thinking you a hack your own jokes. Like I created this, and you can't even say, "Oh, I created that meme." Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah, like
right.
That happens to me when I'm on a show and another comedian talks about loving big girls.
Yeah.
You done know me for so long.
I know that's you.
I bet that was part of my set that was getting booed. You know what I'm saying? So I done worked on it for this whole. But then I'll go on and I have my you copying off. I'm copying off of who?
Right. There's a big girl in my bed right now.
Right, exactly.
Look at my browser history.
Right.
Go look at my first shared Instagram video. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not copying nobody, but that's how this game. Basically, Carlos Miller taught me that it's whoever gets the joke to the mainstream, to the masses first.
But that's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy.
And that's the bad part about, I guess, being in this new center of comedy, because really they're not giving you a chance to do your best of hits, you know what I'm saying, greatest hits album, because they done already, you know what I'm saying, rehashed or remixed.
That's the hard part. It's hard for us because it's like, how do we thrive? What do we do? Because as soon as like content is king right now, so it's like people, especially if you unknown, they see you doing like my podcast clip be everywhere. I never get credited. It has to be someone has to tag me. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know they shared. Like we was trending topic on Streets 94, like never got no credit. So I'm like, this your whole trending topic and you ain't even shot the podcast.
You ain't even go to reach out to the people who you
saying.
Got the clip from.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? That's etiquette. I think that's the etiquette and wrong etiquette in the shared originator. Because I feel like, as from a content creator to another content creator, that producer of that show should have came to you and said, hey, listen, like if we went, once we go viral with this podcast and with something popping, G-Way's gonna be he gonna be talking to whoever, hey, we noticed that our this clip that was shared is doing numbers on your blah blah blah, you know, and they're gonna reach out to him, and that's the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
If not, me and G Wade is pulling up with baseball bats in hand, asking you why you sharing our shit without our express written permission. Like the NFL and Fox when you watch football, you need our express written permission.
That's the messed up part about comedy is, how do we protect our work? You can't.
I think number one, people don't know. And people don't care.
They don't care.
They don't, because like the whole thing with T.I. doing comedy and stuff. T.I. didn't. I really think that T.I. did not maliciously know that he was not. He didn't do anything malicious. He didn't know that he was not supposed to go up after Godfrey. He did not know that there was rules in this, because it's this unspoken thing. So a lot of stuff.
It's not part of his culture. He's not part of it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, because of that, it's like. There's no handbook that's written. It's a lot of things that we don't know. A lot of things that like the average person who just a comedy, you know, club goer, they don't know about the certain things. So, you know, either they don't know or they don't care. Now, if T.I. went up and just was like, well, fuck God, I don't fuck about Godfrey. I'm about to go up anyway. I'm a superstar.
Then,
you know, and whatever. And so then you have issue.
Yeah.
But I think maybe. You mentioned having niches, you know, having those niches. It's some people where you cannot not know it's them. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what you have to do. You got to figure out a way to niche yourself and brand yourself so they know it's you. And like after all these years, I'm still trying to figure it out. Like,
and you will.
Yeah, still, you just got to keep trying.
It's funny y'all say that, because I want to get into animal voiceover videos now. And I'm about to.
Yeah.
But that voice in my head always
Everybody
goes,
doing it.
bruh, it's Tony Baker. He's one of the best. There's this guy. There's that guy. Like, who really needs another voiceover? But then,
I do.
But then,
Or it don't have to be animals. It could be something else where you doing. It could be some anime shit.
But either way, you know what?
But again, that's still somebody else's intellectual property.
No, the idea of doing it now. If I was to do his jokes, or
no, I'm saying like
the videos.
That's the video. That's the thing. So we got to be cautious on that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm real good for going on the internet and finding public domain stuff.
Oh, good, yeah. But no, I want to go. I want to hear.
But all I was gonna say was, there's a reason there's Coke, Pepsi, and RC.
Yeah.
And as much as you might not see RC in public places, there is somebody right now going to the store specifically for a RC cola.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to be RC.
Yeah.
Don't think you got to be Coke or Pepsi. Don't be afraid to be RC.
Even more like they say, like, because that used to be my thing. I never wanted to do something like, oh, this saturated. Everybody doing this. But when you go down the bread aisle, it's so many different loaves of bread, but people gonna buy the loaf of bread that they want. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, I had to learn that they like, you just have to still do it, because I may not be able to relate to this person the way I'm able to relate to you. So you still have to add your twist to it, whatever it is, because you're going to make it sunny, even if it's just your voice. They're like, I like his voice better than Tony Baker. It's something about you that people going to gravitate to as opposed to whoever else is doing it. So you never know what it is about yourself that people are gravitating to, but you just got to do it. But I like, man, what they call it, analysis paralysis, when you analyze stuff so much,
too much
you
that you
paralyze. So I was bad for that, but you just gotta do whatever it is that you want to do, and if it hit, keep going.
I always say you can't reinvent the wheel, but you can put nice rims on it.
Okay.
Hey, I love that. I love that. I love that. You can't reinvent the wheel, but you could put nice rims on
Before
it.
you even said anything about the rims, I'm sitting here like, but the tire pressure and the tread. I mean, but
Everybody
you
doing
can
the same
improve those
thing.
things.
Look at how many cooking shows it is, but it's how you cook it, the setting you're cooking it in. You know what your kitchen look like. You know the greeting. They just may want to hear the greeting. Hey, what's up? Welcome to. You know, it may be that one thing that make them watch it, but you doing that one thing that other people not doing. Yeah.
Let me ask you guys about this. They are rehashing a lot of our favorite beloved TV shows, and not only are they rebooting them and revisioning them and stuff, but they are like changing the whole. Y'all seen the Bel Air?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I mean, you either love it or you hate it.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I just
good.
cannot. I refuse.
It's a different show.
If it had a different name, I could watch it. I could watch it.
Fresh Prince. It's Bel Air.
No,
it's Bel Air.
I don't want it to have anything. I don't care if the characters are saying nothing. I just can't do that to myself. I just cannot. I can do reboots and reimaginings as long as they're in the same category. I can't do a comedy to drama or drama to comedy.
That's what makes it good.
I can't do it.
I think it would have failed had it been a comedy.
But see, that's the thing. No, here's my thing right there, because I feel like it's weird. Because remember back in the day, you couldn't wear gym shoes, like you can't wear Adidas shirt with Nike shoes.
Oh yeah,
you know, I feel like that's kind of how it is to me. But here's my thing. All right, I think, and I come from a background of like filmmaking too, right? Okay. And as a writer and a screenwriter, it's a different story, right? It's a different story. It didn't need that. You know what I'm saying? It didn't need it. It didn't need to be. It didn't need to be the Bel Air.
Yeah.
With Carlton and Will and Ashley and
they could have just made another show.
It could have been another show.
Yeah.
And that's what my problem is.
I think the reason they did it because it was just the marketing.
It's recognizable. It's recognizable. It's already a brand.
Yeah, it's a brand.
That's my point exactly.
Yeah, but it is a different show.
Are they reusing the scripts?
No.
They're taking certain elements and just establishing them in a different way.
Yep.
So like the fact that, remember how Hillary, her dress code and stuff, how she used to dress, that character is really she's just like that as far as her dress, the physical. That's the only thing that's similar about Hillary.
But she's more woke in this one, and
she's smart. She's
Really,
intellectual.
yeah,
you know, Hillary was a Dutch. Like she was.
The only thing that's similar is her outfits. You know, the little suits and the hats and stuff. Possibly. Well, that's part
and
of
like Carlton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will.
Matter of fact, the first episode, which is the only one I've watched all of, the first episode is funny because honestly, it's just, if you've ever seen the long version of the intro of The Fresh Prince, so basically the first episode is just the long intro as an hour-long drama. Yeah. It's got the part where him driving up to the mansion, all that from... Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Only thing, the fight doesn't involve the guy spinning him over his head. That's like the only difference. Yeah. But other than that, if you've ever seen the long version of the intro, the first episode is just the long version of the intro, but dramatic and for an hour.
Yep, I love it.
But my thing is that I just feel like it wasn't needed, and I get why they made it because it's the marketing behind it and all that stuff. But as like I'm telling you, I've got, and I'm pumping myself as a writer and creator, that I've got shows and I've written spec scripts and all kind of stuff that I've done over the last 10 years that I feel like it's like equally as good. Like I could write that and I could produce that and I could, you know what I'm saying, like easily. Without it just having something to do with that. So it's like, as a content creator, what it's doing is setting a precedence that whatever new content comes out, it has to be attached to something nostalgic in order for people to,
well,
you know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, that's how we work as a society. We're more willing to give something familiar a chance than we are something brand new. Yeah. So I mean,
unless
even
though
Tyler
Perry crowd.
No, because they panned this last one. I didn't even know he came out with a movie over this past Christmas. They panned that.
Oh, I watched. I only seen like.
I don't even remember, but
Homecoming.
Oh yeah.
Because people that I know are staunch Tyler Perry fans was talking that bad about it, and I was like,
really? They didn't. So Tyler Perry fans did not like it. I did watch it, but I didn't know if it was good. I'm not It's not.
And one thing, like Tyler.
I said he want to be a bad black bitch so bad. He want to be a bad bitch so bad.
It was like his devout fans didn't like that. It was like Medea's gonna be Medea, but it wasn't even that. Like it fell short somewhere. Or it could just be played out.
The wells were in dry, probably.
I think it's run its course.
Maybe that. I think he just. When I saw him redoing, because I fell asleep on the movie and I woke up and then I said, is this Beyonce or
Oh yeah.
I was so disturbed by that part. Yeah. Like what? And then I said, Tyler Perry want to be a black woman. Yeah. He want to be that so bad. Let me stop. But
it was
disturbing.
Yeah, but that's how it is. Like these studios, they don't want to take chances on like new creative stuff. That's why it's how many Batmans and Spider-Mans, and they rather do that because it's like they want to know they gonna make their ROI, they return on their investment back.
But
so
it's
I'm not gonna lie, I'm part of the problem on that one because as long as you put Spider-Man in a movie, I'm gonna watch it. I don't trust me. There's 8 Spider-Man movies and I don't like but 3 of them, but I have seen all 8.
Because you hoping for something new, but it's just like they know they're gonna get a certain amount of money back. Like, oh, we're gonna do a Spider-Man. We need some money. We're gonna do Spider-Man. We know we're gonna get X amount of dollars back by doing this. But yeah, that's why 2020 when the pandemic happened, they started doing like these initiatives where they was like trying to get black creators talking to like Hollywood execs and stuff more. So I had a couple like virtual coffee meetings with people who who are like showrunners and stuff like that, and I was like writing scripts and stuff, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to, because I told myself like I wanted to write for TV, but it's so competitive. And it's just like, that's why I respect Tyler Perry because it's like, create your own shit as opposed to trying to compete with 100,000 other people trying to get these 8 to 12 jobs they give like in a writer's room. Or you could create your own shit and build up your own buzz because once you do that, now you have more leverage. And like I said, going back to Country Wayne, you probably can't even pay this dude to like he making $500,000 a month from the skits. This not even his stand up and his merch and the other businesses and stuff he had. He made $7 million in 1 year because he was able to build his own leverage. So, but now it's like when you going into somebody else's stuff, demanding like asking for a job, you gonna get what they give you. You may be worth more than that. But you're trying to get into their system. So I'm like, how can I create my own systems? And then if y'all want to come and do a partnership with me, then we could talk. But I'm like, it was like they was like critiquing my scripts and stuff like, oh, like the small stuff, but these people had never produced their own film. I'm like, I produced a film. I produced several films on my own that have done well, but you just write. But I've actually been in the field before, so I know that this script could work. But it's like the technicalities of it, like, oh, this should be spaced here and here.
Yep.
That doesn't mean the script isn't good. So once I did that, and it was like I was getting feedback on like the small technical stuff, I get it, but it doesn't mean that I can't write a script and produce a movie. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be doing my own stuff, because if they gonna give me a pass over a technicality as opposed to reading the script and seeing this is a good script, I don't need to be trying to compete to get into this. Like, I'm just gonna do my own shit.
And now, in part of that Country Wayne video, when he was talking about, you don't have to do that, anymore, because the masses, the audience is here,
everybody
in
online.
this room. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go to the studios. The studios are coming to you for content. So it's our job as content creators, if we want to be in that space, because I realize that just because somebody's a comedian, and we see them on stage and on TV or whatever, doesn't mean that they're a content creator.
Yeah, that's true.
And vice versa.
True.
Yep, and vice versa. That doesn't mean that, but if you realize and you recognize that for you, I feel like it's irresponsible if you creating content and you don't have control over it.
Yeah.
You don't recognize it. So hopefully, like, Sonny, I know that's not your thing. You just want to be creative, right? But I want you to have somebody in your team that's in your pocket, that's behind you, that's saying, okay, I know, Sonny, that's not your focus. You want to focus on this. But at the same time, this is a business and you are a brand, and we need to be able to monetize this. So, you know what I'm saying? So have somebody in your pocket, on your team, that's got their eyes and their ears open for opportunities for you. So that way, when you do something, one of those videos from, 2009 or 13 or whatever starts getting attention, they'll know, you know what I'm saying, where the right way to it won't all be forsaken. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing.
Got you. No, it ain't that I don't want that.
Oh,
it's
no,
just
I know.
I'm difficult to be that person in my life is a difficulty. So I gotta find somebody who matches.
Yeah, and most creative people are, because we want to get the art out. You know, we just want to express ourselves, but we don't understand at the end of the day that it's a business. It is. It's a filmmaking. It's a business at the end of the day. Content creation, no matter what it is, no matter what realm it is, it's a business at the end of the day, and we want to be able to make money off of it. I don't want to have to clock in every day wherever, I mean, I don't want to have to do that every day.
Gotta learn the business side, because if we creative, we know how to be creative, but it's like, how do you turn this into a business? And that's what I'm trying to do with my podcast, like sponsorship and just merch, like different things, like just to try to make it more like a business, because you can't be so stuck on the creative side.
Us too, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So you have to, but it's just trial and error and just taking what you learn from people who doing it, like paying attention, studying. Like when this person give gems, it's like, listen, like when my ears perked up when that man said how much money he was making, because it's like, oh, this is a real thing. Like he making this amount for the internet, and he said he worked 2 days a week. He probably put in 10 hours a week. On his phone, it's not super produced. He don't got all this big equipment. His phone and a gimbal, and this man is rich.
You ever heard the internet show called Black Chicago Be Like?
Chicago. Is it the dude with the dreads? Yeah.
Corporate business.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk weird, and he'd be like, "And I."
Yep.
So even though you're talking, his voice is what you hear.
Yep.
But the way he does it.
Yep. It's good though.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. So just trying to figure out. Yep. He gets a lot of views. So it's just
figuring out your next. So what's next for you? You mentioned a lot of stuff that you doing. How can people find you?
Okay, yeah. Social media, Kirby_comedy. I have a podcast. Ahead of the Curb is spelled KIRB. So, but what's next? I'm trying to shoot a sequel for my movie Dick for a Day. Okay. Trying to shoot a sequel for that. It's just a whole bunch of content coming. It's like a bunch of stuff coming. Just trying to produce a lot more content, but right now the focus is the podcast. So,
if there's, do you have any comedians that that are your either maybe current favorites or maybe somebody that you saw that was like kind of was an inspiration to you, maybe somebody you was like listening to growing up? Or
man, I'm not a fan of nobody right now.
You mentioned Vanessa Fraction.
Yeah, she's all she's funny, but like I don't know, I'm weird. Like I'm not a fan of nobody right now because I don't think nobody doing nothing new. I think comedy's at this place where it's like
pick a struggle, basically.
Yeah, it's just like I want to see something new and exciting. That's why I keep mentioning Country Wayne, not to say that the content is like, it's just a business, like how he's turned that into a business. Like he figured out a way to turn, like, oh, I'm finna put my kids in this. They're getting, and I'm employing them. So they're getting money from that. You know, he's able to write them off. Like everything he do, this could be a skit. Oh, I'm going on vacation, we're gonna make this a skit. Now this has become a write-off for me because I'm working. So I like his business acumen with that. But like everybody kind of just like coasting right now. So I'm not really watching nobody. I'm just trying to figure out like what can I do to bring something fresh to the game, because I feel like something fresh needs to be added to the game.
Are you a fan of any shows or anything like that?
Yeah, I love Atlanta. I can't wait for that to come back. That was one of my favorite shows.
Oh my God, I don't want to see that third season. I don't something about them being in Europe just makes me think it's not going to be as good.
I hated this ending. That's the sad part.
They just got big and famous. They couldn't.
That I like because I hate when my favorite TV shows go too long.
Yeah.
I would rather it stop before it does that.
I just hate the way like, oh, it was such a great show, but then they all just blew up at that time. So he wasn't able to like give us consistent seasons. But Atlanta, I'm mad Insecure in it. I was like, Atlanta and Insecure were like my two shows. They were sister shows.
So,
I just started watching this show called The Bust Down. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I heard about that. That's on Peacock, right?
Yeah, it's on Peacock. Peacock doing some pretty cool things. I think
that's the breath of fresh air that because when you were talking, I understand what you were saying. Mm-hmm. And I think shows like that, low key shows on Peacock and stuff like that.
It's them low key shows that I like.
Plus, what they're doing with the Miss Pat show.
It's like Southside on Comedy Central.
I cannot find that on Fire Stick I can find everything on Fire Stick, but
actually
for some reason
they took it off Comedy Central and now it's on
Tubi.
Comedy I want to say it's on Tubi now.
I thought it was HBO Max.
It might be HBO Max.
Yeah, okay, I cannot find that.
Southside.
Everybody was saying that show is so funny. I'm like, let me find. I can't find it.
Southside is hilarious, and the guys that made that show had a show before called Sherman Showcase that Rob Hayes was on.
Really?
Yes, Sherman Showcase was hilarious. Really? It was like a mock Soul Train / documentary show. Like here's something I didn't know. The idea for Fresh Prince, Quincy Jones originally had it for Morris Day. The show was originally supposed to be Morris Day coming to live with rich relatives and blah blah blah. Wow. Then he met Benny Medina. Yeah. Benny told him about his life and it matched up. So then that's when he got the idea to bring in somebody younger, and they brought Will in, and it became the Fresh Prince. But so anyway, Sherman Showcase has a sketch of what the show would look like if it still starred Morris Day and Rob plays Morris Day.
Oh wow, Rob be low key out here working.
Yes,
and you know who else? Tyler Chronicles be out here working too.
Yeah.
Mario Torre. I'm just like
working.
They
working. They and I'm trying to figure out how what it is that I don't know. I'm trying to get there.
One thing about both of those two brothers that I know is that they go for it. They just get out there, they go for it. In my mind, I don't think they have the same self-doubts that I do. They probably do because a lot of us do, but I don't see that coming out of them. Yeah. I feel like they see something they wanted, they go for it. And like you said, paralysis through analysis. I'd be like, but if you
overthink it, you think about what could go wrong instead of what could go right. You think about what it could take instead of using what you have. But yeah.
One of the things that I am really passionate about, I'm not from Atlanta, but I've been here like
not Atlanta
years. Yeah, not Atlanta. But I'm very passionate about keeping things in Atlanta and cultivating the cultures that we do have in Atlanta. So I'm a part of, I feel like a lot of industries I've had my little toes in, and I've had experience of working or at least making some type of living in these little different niches of industries, right? And they're all connected in some point. But traditionally, in order to be successful in any of those things, you have to either go to LA or New York, right? Okay, so I've written for television before. I've done, I've written in film, I've worked in film and TV, and if
you were really a PA,
right? I've done all those things, and my friends who came up with me in those things, guess where they are now? They are like doing, stuff in LA. And they're still like middle class. Nobody's like showrunner right now, but it's just coming. But in order to get to those levels, they had to leave Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no writer room here. There's no, there's those opportunities are not here, even for comedians and stuff. We don't have, all Def Digital, when they come here, they pull the same comedians that they're not outsourcing. I know the camera guy, they use the same camera guys and editors, and so they go to the same places and stuff. So they're still. So my whole thing is I want to help cultivate keeping those things in Atlanta. I bought a house. I don't want to have to, and I got a 2-year-old. I don't want to have to pack my stuff up and move to LA. I'm already 40. I don't have time to be like relocating in my life and going, here and all that stuff. So what can I do to help support and keep stuff here in Atlanta, so that, because that's what happens. People get big and they start off in Atlanta and stuff, and then they go out to LA and get big, and then they come back here, and people that y'all seen from back in the day, and now they toot their nose up at you because they remember you from doing open mics and stuff. So I am very passionate about keeping things in Atlanta. And helping cultivate and supporting the careers of people here in Atlanta, so that they can stay in Atlanta and we can keep growing and building off of each other. So I want to ask, and I want to start asking like other guests and stuff, like what can we do to help, or not just us, but people who are listening, people who are fans of yours and may not have been known about you before this podcast, or but they gonna know about you now, whatever. Right. What can they do to help support you, what your goals are? Unless you're trying to go out to LA and take everything.
No, I'm not. I love.
And she can get her own ticket. Matter of fact, she got a buddy pass, so she don't need you for that.
I love being around black people. I love Atlanta. I said if I was to move anywhere else, it'd probably be Houston. But I don't even. The only reason I wouldn't now is because they don't have the industry out there like that. If they had the industry, like, because they said Houston like a bigger Atlanta, Just following, supporting, like it'd be little stuff like subscribing to a person's YouTube channel, commenting, because when you do that stuff, you're boosting them in the algorithm. So if you comment on my page, you like my page, you share a video I do, it's like now it's getting out to more people and the algorithm starts working for you. They're like, oh, people are responding to this, so let me put it in front of more people. So stuff like that, when people do have shows or they have merchandise just coming out to support, telling people, it means a lot. Somebody changed my perspective, because they was like, we always talking about we don't have enough followers or supporters, but like take like your last post or on whatever social media site and say you got 20 likes on it. If you put those people in the room, like it seemed like a little bit of likes on social media, but if you put those people in a room, those are actual real people. 20 people, like that's real,
Mug up.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like just being appreciative of every single person who's into you. So that changed my perspective, because I'm like, if 35 people was to come out, if all these people who like this post was to come out, I'm doing something. I'm gonna keep building from that. Then you start to have social proof. That's why it's good to record everything you do, just to show people like this social proof. Like, you could say I have a podcast, but if you show them a clip of this, like that you have guests, they gonna be more into it. Like, oh, this is a clip of my podcast, because everybody got a podcast now.
Right.
It's like everybody got a mixtape.
Everybody got a mixtape, So, but yeah, I like that. That's something I was trying to do, like just get all the Atlanta comedians and just creatives and doing stuff. But it could be hard getting all those people to like schedules and cooperating. Everybody want to be the chief. They don't want to be no
Indian. I'm not trying to like collaborate, because I know what kind of what the fuck that would be. Yeah, it's so many egos. Everybody,
it's a lot of egos.
Celebrity in Atlanta and all that stuff. Look, I get that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to still do what I do. Yeah, but I guess make it a safe place for people to be able to You know what I'm saying? I want to create a writer's room in Atlanta.
If you build it, they'll come.
Yeah.
Do you have to? One thing I learned too is don't even be asking for help. Just do what you can with what you can. And once people see you doing stuff, once you build something, people start offering their resources. They start saying, how can I help you? But when you like, yo, I want to do this, because everybody want to do something. I stopped having meetings with people. They like, I want to link up with you and talk about this and do you have a script? Nah, but I got this person. But you don't have a script, and the script is the first thing you need in order to make a movie, and you don't even have step one, but you want me. So I stopped driving to meet people. I stopped having long ass conversations with people on the phone, because it's like you don't even do your part yet. But once people start seeing you do your part, they gon' because everybody want to be a part of something. So once they see you build something, they start saying, how can I help? They start offering resources. Oh, you could use my place. You could use my car. You could use my kid to be in this app. My auntie, my little nephew, he want to do this. This person, a graphic designer. So you just have to build your own stuff. And then once people see you doing stuff, you going to be surprised at like the resources people start offering you.
It's funny how people are people. Because I know a lot of people, and it wasn't until I started doing comedy that people that know, you've been knowing I've been writing since 2009, but now that I'm doing comedy, and then you see me doing certain, now you like, do you know how to write comedy? Because such and such looking for writers, apprentice, blah blah blah, or they looking for somebody to touch up their script. Like, dude, like, or I have to get jobs. I get writing gigs from people who, like, I know personally, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the job didn't come from you. Yeah. It didn't come from your office. It came from like around the way. But you knew they was hiring. You know what I'm saying? It's like funny how people are.
Real quick, just on what she was saying about build yourself. So the 70s party that I hosted this past Saturday. Yes, I forgot to talk about that. Oh my goodness, that was such a live event. It got packed. It was at the Love Below Speakeasy on Whitehall.
Oh, yeah. I love that spot. It's so
right. And what it is they explained to me that they're a group of women who are in their early 30s, but they all realized they had a passion for 70s music. So at first, they would just, after work, set a Friday, every other Friday or whatever, for them to go and listen to 70s music. Yeah. And then another girl found out she likes it, and she was a DJ, so she was like, hey, I could come and bring my stuff and we could do. That's how it started. Then other people started hearing about it, and they started having house parties. The house parties got so big that now they have to now rent out venues. Everything evolves. So like she said, that's something that I just recently had to learn for myself. Like, stop trying to think, okay, well, what don't I have to do this with, and just start. Because at some point, if you keep doing it, I was supposed to start a morning show on IG back in January, and I abandoned it because I was like, nobody wants to da. Now I'm going back to that idea, because it's like at some point somebody's going to be like, I see you on IG every morning.
We rule people out before they say no. We rule people out in our heads. Like, oh, nobody want to see that. How you know? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody won't see it.
And sometimes even when you first starting off and it starts off slow, it's just because people haven't gotten used to that consistency. They may think you on their bullshitting, but it's like, oh no, this person gonna be on here every Monday from 8 to 9. Like, let me tune in. And like I say, sometimes like you just be done watching everybody else, and it's like, what now? Because we own our phones all day long. So you gotta start. I was trying to figure out everything from A to Z, but it's like, hey,
do it.
What can I do on A?
Just
then
start.
Go to B. You just gotta start. You just gotta start. And that's where I'm at with it now. It's like, just start, like, and see yourself through.
I record a lot. Like, I put my daughter's father, he has a problem. He be like, man, do you have to exploit every part of her life? I share every moment. And because my TikTok is just random things. It's I ain't on there like, dancing and stuff. I leave that for the teenagers. My daughters do that stuff. Every now and then I feature a video with them, but my TikTok is full of me doing just random stuff, because you never know what's going to catch. You never know. You know what I'm saying? The video that I got that went like crazy, it got like 11,000 views. I got 2 videos that did really good numbers like that. One was when I started talking about adult products, right? Because I'm I was a buyer for an adult line. And I have an adult store.
Yeah.
And so and I started educating people on products and differences. Now, of course, some of they did get flagged. Like they were up for TikTok, a while, and then PG. Something happened. Yeah. Like they were up for a while.
The community standards changed. They got updated.
Yep, that's what happened. And then and then things. I mean, also it could have been because I got like half my page is adult and then half of it's like my 2-year-old, like doing
that
stuff.
Confused.
Yeah, so I can see how that
I'm not gonna lie. When I follow a woman I find is attractive on Instagram and that's her page is bouncing forth between booty pics and her kids. That's I'm like, yep,
that's me.
Nope. Unfollow. Yeah, unfollow. You feel me?
Yeah.
I can either think of you as a great mom or I can think of you as a sex object, but I can't do both.
You cannot be.
That is me. Okay, that is me. I will have cooking videos.
You either gonna make me hard or go all, but I'm not doing both.
Lifestyle. You doing lifestyle stuff.
Yes, and then I'm a mom and stuff, but I still have. But anyway, that video, and then there was a video of my ex coworkers, my ex supervisors, were drunk at the Christmas party and they were dancing. Mm-hmm. And I put it on, I recorded it, only a short little clip, maybe 7-8 seconds. And I put it to 3 6 Mafia. and I did it because I got let go and I was mad. And I was like, you know what? Because originally the original version was on there. And the original version got, people was looking at it. But then when I changed it to 3 6 Mafia music, and then it looked like they was dancing 3 6 Mafia. And then everybody started looking at it like, so that one, but then I had tagged it to the company, and then, but that's a whole other thing. But
damn,
you just wanted to know that you got famous off of something that they did. That y'all fired me, and I'm famous off y'all asses now.
Right, but my whole thing is like you just never know what is going to take off.
And you know what? And don't try to think about what's going to take off. Do your natural interest and make people be interested in the things you're interested in, because, like I say, people into weird stuff, even if like what you do is not weird, it's a following for everything. Like it's men who buy panties, who like to sniff panties. It's people who love toes, who will watch you clipping your toes, painting your toes. So you really could do anything. So a lot of people try to be like, I'm gonna do this because this is popular, but do what you like to do, because you're gonna be able to have the longevity and the consistency, because you get burnt out after a while doing stuff. That's why I'm glad, because I used to be like, damn, I don't got no characters, or like, how people have characters and stuff. I'm like, I don't got no character or nothing like that. But
no reoccurring sketch.
I would hate to have to go out in public and be that person 24/7.
Eastside Ivo.
I know that.
Yeah, out of Detroit, young guy, and I don't even know how to even come back from. He's trying to come back from, but he was one of the first dudes in the wigs that would be, and it's saturated now. Like everybody was sure. And one particular summer got so bad, every comedian, every straight black man had on a wig. It was dissing black women, and I have mixed feelings about it, because sometimes it's an attack. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a personal attack as a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Who own a wig? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just. It's bad, but it was really bad at some point in time.
It was.
And now it's kind of, I think some older OGs kind of shamed them. It was like, dude, stop doing that. I made a video like black men stay the fuck out our closets, like because we start seeing it.
My God, yes,
for real.
Like there was a whole rant.
That was another inspiration for Thought Boys.
It's always the most exaggerated ghetto ratchet shit ever. It's like, this what you think of black women,
exactly.
But at the same time, it be black women supporting that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you can't find a man because you ushering him. You know what I'm saying? Like you.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like my point, Eastside Ivo was he reached he was one of the first people I saw that really like got internet success. Like he got like millions of followers on Instagram. He was one of the first people that I saw like outside of Dormtainment, and even before Dormtainment, because they still got to split the check 5 ways. You know what I'm saying? Him as a single person.
They starting to break up though.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad. But he
they started that as soon as they went to LA, because I know Tay personally. Tay was there only for like a couple months. But anyway, go ahead.
He back in Detroit now. He's like fighting or something. I don't know. But anyway. But he from Detroit, and he got big, right? Yeah. He moved from Detroit to LA, and he, you know what happens. But now those characters he used to do, is funny and chemicals, whatever they are, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Now I'll be watching his comments and now, or people are rehashing on TikTok now and stuff, and not really understanding where they come from. Yeah. And so what I do is, because I know the origins, I tag them in it. That man don't know me. He don't know me from Adam, but I know his content. And I'm gonna continue to do that if I know the originator, because these little kids on there. My daughter's showing me this video, blah blah blah. It's so funny, blah blah blah. Yeah. Daughter, look, I'm gonna show you let me show you the original.
Yeah, we to that point now where stuff's starting to come back around. Like stuff that we grew up on is like now throwback retro. Like
we are now at that age where I remember when my parents, when I first started listening to hip hop, they couldn't get into because all we were doing was sampling. We were using samples of the songs they grew, and I didn't understand that because this is my first time hearing it. But now that I'm at that age and I'm going back, like Mary J. Blige. Well, so first off, it's not Mary J. Blige. It's who was it? The soul, the stylistics. You are everything. Yeah. So. I learned about their song from Mary J. Blige's "You Are Everything."
That's my version.
But now there's a trap artist who has a version, and I'm just like,
what are you doing?
Why? There was no need to do this, but I feel like,
parents.
Now I know how my parents felt.
It blows my mind that we're at this age. It's like, wow.
Right. That's like, did you see that video that's going around of the Walk It Out contest that was in the school gym?
Yeah.
That to me does not seem like it was that long ago, but when you watch the video, you're like, "Oh my god,
bro!"
Do you?
It's 20 years old now. You're like, "Whoa!"
I did not realize.
Whoa! Like our stuff is now retro.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I remember. I thought I was a franchise boy. I thought I was in Crime Mob.
Wow.
Now I don't buck because I can't nuck.
Right. It's crazy. Like life, you just gotta live your life, have fun, because this life is going by fast. Like,
so you an OG, you a veteran in the game. I tell her I'm my tag.
I wouldn't even say that.
No, OG. No, I'm talking about when you say whatever your. It ain't got to be what you an expert in. Right. It's just because I'm
because you've been 40. Around for so long.
Yeah, I'm 40. I'm an OG in milk shopping. I done been buying milk for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? I know that I'm an OG in whatever it is. Right. So like I'm an OG. I'm an older mom because I had a baby. I had to slip up.
I'm gonna be an older mom. Yeah, I'm gonna be an older mom.
But in the groups,
I thought
stuff,
never mind.
You thought what?
Never mind.
I had a kid.
I thought you didn't want.
No. I wasn't ready.
Gotcha.
I wasn't ready. I always knew that like I would have kids later and get married older because like
you was gonna live your young life.
I wanted to live my life.
I got you.
I wanted to live my life, and forever is a long time. Like I can give you about 35, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? But getting married in your 20s, that shit is stupid to me. Like it's. Dumb.
I wish I would have met you in my 20s.
Yeah, it's So I just knew like. And then so many people be like, you have to give up your life to like raise your kids. So many people don't know how to balance. I think now people are learning how to like, I could be a career woman or man and like, a woman, because men was still working, but you had to stop everything for your kids. I was like, I don't want to be 21, 22 years old and like,
that's it.
I done been to the club one time. I can't go out. I never been on a girls trip. I knew I didn't want that for myself. But I feel like I'm a mother. I always wanted to have kids.
See, I'm now about to be the old dude with two kids who are like 10, 15 years apart type deal. Yeah,
you got another one on the way, or you got
not on the way? I'm still planning.
Okay, okay.
I'm still planning.
Yeah, young lady.
Yeah. She gonna be wifey or just baby mama. You not doing that.
So here's my thing. Somebody put up a joke, and I feel like it's honest. Yeah. I feel like marriage or partnerships, if you're gonna go that route, should have a lease period.
I feel that.
I don't feel like they should be. I'm for, because you never know. Like me and somebody could bond over comic books. Yeah. Okay, she don't read comic books no more. She done grew out of comic books. Now our whole bond is gone over that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that probably changed the whole dynamic of like. I applaud everybody who's been out here doing it 10, 20, 30 and forever and all that. Y'all are great. Yeah. But you get on my nerves 3 times. Yeah. I don't even want to be in the same house no more.
I always said, it's tough because I said I don't gotta see you every day. Like I'm such an introvert and I need my space. I don't got like 3 days a week. I'm loving you hard, but every day,
right?
You gonna get some of that attitude.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am non-monogamous. I am
I was exploring that.
Yeah, non-monogamous. I'm polyamorous. I'm an advocate for that.
Yeah. But I'm still mono-minded. Like.
Yeah, I'm selfish. I can't do none of that.
I'm ethically. So the word is I'm ethically
non-monogamous.
Non-monogamous. But I am polyamorous.
Yep.
And that's a whole other thing. Before it was a bad word. It was before like
everybody
tell nobody
poly.
that. You know what I'm saying? No, I had to talk with somebody today, and she was like, "Yeah, my boyfriend's he's poly," and he is a cheater, honey.
Yeah,
he's cheating. That's what it is. He's a sex addict.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He a cheater. That he ain't poly. Like, he ain't poly.
It's hard. Being faithful is hard. It's not impossible, but it's very, very hard.
It's funny that in my dating life.
It's hard
because I don't date women who say that they're like I'm poly and they think like I guess because of the guys they usually run into that's a selling point. That's not a selling point for me. For
a lot of men it's not. Men want to like have multiple women, but they can't stomach.
I'm not even listen. Let me tell you, me personally, I'm clingy. We don't want clingy dudes. I'm clingy. If I find you and I like you, I don't even have the attention span for other people.
That's been my problem in relationships because I'm not clingy.
I'm clingy. So you can't tell me I want to, love multiple people because I'm going to feel like, well, Wednesday, I feel like cuddling.
Yeah.
And if it's Tony's turn to cuddle, I'm going to be mad as fuck. So
right.
I'm also open. Like, it's like, you can do your own thing. But at the same time, I don't want to own multiple women. I just want that one woman who I want to be around when I want to be around so I salute everybody who can do any of those things because my emotions are too the Pisces. You saying the Virgo in you, the Pisces and me be fighting all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, y'all lovers. Y'all really are. Y'all like love.
Like I get jealous about people I just have a crush on. Yeah. If I see the same dude leave too many comments on block this bitch because obviously somebody else got her attention.
Yeah.
Obviously she's got fans already.
That's something I've been struggling with lately. Like. Monogamy, not monogamy, but it's like, dude, can I be poly? Certain parts of me, yes, certain parts, no, because it's still gonna be like some jealousy. But at the same time, I know like it's hard to be a person's everything, and I don't want to be your everything. That's a lot of responsibility. You looking for me to do this, and that's just not me. You want me? I can't conform to this because that's not who I am. But it's like, but also just sleeping with the same person for the rest of your life seems boring.
I feel like, and see, that's where I come in. I think
so. Maybe I'm open. Like I don't know.
It's a hybrid. Yeah. Like my lifestyle is. I feel like it's a hybrid of.
Like we could have fun,
and that should be acceptable. Yeah, I feel like that should. It should be. If me and you have been together for 10 years, and you say, "Okay, I just want to see what a super tall dude or a super chubby dude or something feels like," I feel like there's, you should be able to be like, "Hey, go explore that option and blah blah blah."
Yeah, it's just our ego. Our ego is so hard to kill the ego.
I'm not enough for you no more.
That's what you be thinking. Yeah. Like it's your ego. It's like, oh, so you like somebody other than me? Of course, we don't never stop being attracted to people.
Number one, I feel like I have my phone bill is $122 a month, and I'm supposed to just talk to one person like forever. It's 8 billion people on this earth. I'm supposed to just be for one person forever, forever. One person, one penis, and or vagina from holidays
depending
and birthdays and stuff, whatever. But I'm supposed that's just it forever until we die. Like that's it. Die. Like that just doesn't sit right with my.
Well, and then first off. It's not until we die. It's until one of us die.
Yeah. Well, you might be old.
But that's the crazy. So I am now at that age where my selection is between just entered college / just got first grandchild. So, my dating spectrum is. But anyway, on that older side of the dating spectrum, there are a lot of women who are in their 50s, upper 50s, stuff like that, who husbands have died or whatever, and. It's not necessarily, they're like, okay, I've grieved, I've moved on, I'm ready to I still have a lot of life to live and stuff like that. And thinking about that from their side is like, you know what, you were absolutely right. But thinking about it from the husband's side, you know, if this motherfucker can still hold that long.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I think people romanticize it in their head. I don't want it to be like that. As soon as I die, go bitch, find you some happiness.
Yep. You
happy.
did it. So death did us part.
Yeah.
Like it happened.
But there are people who really try to shame people like that. Oh, so you must not have loved your wife. Like,
so death do us part. I honored my vows.
I don't even want it to be that. You ain't got to be deaf. Hey, look, if I got a cold and you don't feel like dealing with it, go have you some fun.
It's so hard. Like, if you find somebody that you could tolerate,
that's what it is.
Hold on to that person, because it's just shit out here. It's so crappy. Like,
unless you're in Houston or Texas, then in Texas it's a little bit better. Well, at least you got things better to look at.
But just the age we live in, where it's just so much access to
everybody's
people.
Disposable.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, and I understand it. Like, our grandparents forced themselves to be together because it was the right thing to do. It was the honorable
thing as well. So everybody keeps saying, why y'all can't be like grandma? Grandma was depressed as fuck.
Grandma was getting her ass beat.
Granddaddy was mean as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like, hell no, I don't want to be like grandma. And then they always, it kills me because dudes always be like, oh, we ain't gonna find
women like
traditional women. Yeah. Why the fuck I gotta be a traditional woman when you are a modern man who don't do none of the traditional shit? My granddaddy could go plant a whole. My granddaddy a farmer. He could go plant food, go kill animals. He could build the house. A whole house. But you're talking about traditional woman. But you're a modern man. But you want me to be traditional?
This dude don't even know how to unclog a sink.
That's what I'm saying.
But he wants you to stay home and cook. But you want me to know how to
goddamn make cornbread from scratch.
Actually, what's funny about that, I learned that. So my grandma taught me how to cook. I'm talking about I'm a kitchen king. That's one thing I'm proud. If you don't ever hear me take pride in nothing else of myself, I'm a cook. Which is why the fact that I went viral for that pale chicken a couple years ago. That
shit was so funny.
I did not expect that.
You don't be taking advantage of like the stuff that hits.
I got like 24K shares off of that. But anyway,
that shit was funny.
But what's hilarious to me in the dating world is that there are some people out there that if they have a hook, they feel like that's their whole thing, and they should be able to offer that to everybody, and everybody should be happy with that. So I've had women who have got mad at me because their hook is cooking. I don't need a cook.
Yeah.
I cook very well, better than a lot of women that have cooked for me. Yeah. So your hook into my life can't be cooking. Yeah. You have to find something else. And they get mad because that's all they have. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like being pretty, like with no personality. It's like after a while you get tired of that pretty face, or if a dude have money, it's like, all right, but you're boring. I can't talk to you. You don't have interest in nothing else. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's that's why I say if you find somebody who you vibe with, it ain't gonna be perfect, but like hold on to that person, because everybody out here trying to like, they seeing this person online like, oh, I need somebody who look like that, who do this, or relationship goals, you know.
Yeah, and that's
I just need a cuddle buddy right now. I just need some.
It's too hot. Nah, we out here. We out here now, boy. It's springtime.
That's why I have central air, baby. You can come get you some of this 50 degrees in the 80 degree.
The sun is out here shining. The serotonin levels are up.
It's always sunny.
Yeah,
but
sunny.
It's always sunny with sunny.
Hey,
yes, it's always sunny with sunny.
Yeah, and look, I thought I wasn't good with and I thought I wasn't good with titles.
But like, I know. Like in my 20s, you know, if a woman called me over and you know, tried to get me to watch Grey's Anatomy, I'm like, oh my God. Now, that's my prefer. I don't care. First off, I don't care what you put on because I'm going to go to sleep. Yeah. But I just want to hold something for a couple, you know.
Intimacy.
Yeah.
The intimacy, yeah.
So now I done got into that phase. It's like, hey, baby, I don't care what else we trying to do. If you just want to come lay down for a couple of hours and watch your favorite show while I snore in your ear,
right.
we can do that. If that's not what you about, then go on about your business.
Finding somebody who match your vibe.
If they like to watch the egg picking videos or whatever on TikTok or whatever, honey,
we lit.
Find them. Hold on to them. I'm gonna have you fab up. I want to
in the same bed. All y'all watching the A video. Look, they tapping. Hey, bro. Look, that one's horrible.
Only on my birthday.
So let me ask you this, because I'm in a couple poly groups, right? Mm-hmm. And what I found with a lot of polyamorous women, they are okay with dating bisexual men. Are you okay with? Would you consider that? Is it okay for you?
Okay. All right.
Oh, she had to reboot on that one.
No, I know.
You see
because I dated a bisexual man that I did not know that he was bisexual.
Okay.
Until it was afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. So, it has not been presented to me.
Okay.
I don't think I could say no.
Yeah.
But it's not anything because I look at it as being, if that person is responsible, you know what I'm saying, and respectful, and then that's their way of being poly. So just a little quick recap of what my ideal situation. I've yet to achieve this.
Okay.
But my ideal situation is me maintaining 2 separate relationships with 2 different men. Ideally, I would like 5, but that's maybe a little bit ambitious. Yeah. When I say 5, people be like, whoa. You know, so 2 can get people from not judging me or whatever.
Okay,
2, I can see 2.
Yeah. A good woman deserves 2 men.
That's what I'm saying, right? But really, it's like 5, you know, whatever. Because I mean, a good basketball team got 5 players. You know what I'm saying? So shit. I mean,
only reason I can't say 5 is only reason I can't see 5 is because at that point you start dividing
schedule.
To needing a whole day by yourself. Like if you got 2, I can see you dividing both of those guys into one day, and it's still working out. Once you get 5, I don't see like.
You ain't gonna like them equally.
It's not gonna be equal.
Yeah.
But and this is coming from, like I said, I'm almost 40. My children, for the most part, are grown. I was married for over a decade. Yeah. I've been divorced. You know what I'm saying? I done did some shit. You know what I'm saying? Before I've experienced, it's nothing I feel like I'm lacking. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I done did the club and the, you know what I'm saying? So at this point, I want what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's okay.
So. Ideally, that's how it will be. And I would maintain these 2 separate relationships. There is no hierarchy. Yeah. I mean, ideally, it probably would be at some point.
At some point.
But from the outside looking in,
it's like kids. Everybody tells them, "I don't have any favorite kids." But
does.
If you watch somebody's profile, there's always a favorite kid. I've only seen your daughter once, but I've seen your son every day for the past year. Exactly. You damn sure have a favorite kid.
Law captions,
you feel me?
Right, the little hard eyes and stuff.
Whole stories about this kid, and then this other kid shows up, and it's just like, oh, and by the way, this is mine.
I had asked that because I noticed that a lot of polyamorous women are a little more open-minded when it comes to because for black women, we just like a lot of black women like, nah, I would never do that. But like white women and like other cultures of women and stuff like that, races and ethnicities, they're more open to it. But the polyamorous black women are open to it. They're like, yeah, I prefer. It was women who was like, I prefer to date a bisexual guy.
I don't know about preferring. Yeah. But the whole thing is, it's about respecting that person's choices. Yeah. You know, because I hate for somebody to be like my partner right now wants us to be able, he wants my poly to be our poly. So he wants to have like interview processes with the men that I'm considering. And he wants us to both sit down and say, yeah, this is good for you. No, that's not your thing.
This is my nigga.
This is my, you know, that's how I'm looking at that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's how, so if it's somebody, because he could throw some salt in the game. He be like, he perfect.
Or you really feeling dude and he's like, no, I don't think that's the right one.
Yeah, exactly. So,
it's
so I would never try to like tell a person how they can be poly because I've been on that end of it. I think a lot of women, sometimes black women, are desperate,
for sure.
You know, and so they just take any other. The truth, honestly, the truth about it is, bisexual men don't want us. They don't want black women. They don't, and that's and I'm gonna say you this. Yeah, I will. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You ever see the men who this is my theory. You ever see the men who had the beat faces but the full luxurious beards and shit? That's who the bisexual men want. Cause who the fuck are they making up for? Who is getting? Who has been like, oh, that nigga beard just and his face beat to the gods. Who is he?
I don't necessarily agree because I feel like that's where DL men come at, because it's like they can't really say I'm into men. because they're trying to protect themselves with the woman. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that a lot of people are like, oh no, if you like men, you gay. But I do believe there are bisexual men who like both.
Well, okay. I don't think that they're checking for us because it's such a stigma of black women. Hell no, I don't want no blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like, so when I found out that the gentleman that my ex was, you know, DL or whatever, it was because of sexting. It was sexting gone wrong. He got a little bit too comfortable.
Oh, okay.
And he ended up sending me a video of him like sucking dick.
Oh.
And we never had a conversation about that. It just went way too far. I was like, whoa. We still talk. We never.
Did he do it on accident, or he just did it like he thought you would be into it one?
Oh, you meant send it to her, because I sure enough was about to be like, "How you suck dick on accident?" That's not.
He sent it to me on accident. He thought I was into it because that's how the conversation was going.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's because he thought I was into it, you know. And
gotcha.
But I didn't respond in any particular way because I instantly felt sorrow for him. And I felt sorrow for him because he's out here living his life as a straight man.
Okay.
And I felt sorrow because I'm like, how hard it must be for him to be holding that in, that part of his sexuality. And he is a popular guy. Like, he's on TV and he's in movies. You know what I'm saying? He is a, well-known guy in this little part of his life that's could ruin him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Particularly. And so I felt sad for him. He fucked the whole sexing moment up. I'm like, I'm in my feelings. Nah. You know what I'm saying?
You do better than me.
Yeah, so because I think I have that insight, I think I look at it as being, just a little bit different. Now, I ask men, have you ever been with a man? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I try to make it as comfortable as an environment so that they do feel comfortable, saying, it was a time at college, or, you know what I'm saying? I thought about it and I really, never went at, whatever. I want that. Those conversations will probably never happen because men, we're so guarded. We created, we created, even amongst gay men themselves, they don't really have those conversations with themselves. And so... But I think that starts with us changing the dynamic and the conversation about how we handle gay men and gay women too. I mean, no, I ain't gonna say gay women.
So that's hilarious, and this is a worldwide exclusive. But I identified as strictly straight until I seen T.S. Madison on somebody's show. Because I didn't know.
You know who T.S. Madison is. She be hanging out with...
I heard the name. I can't think of it.
I want to say Wendy Williams or I can't remember who it was, but I seen her.
She got her own show.
Yeah. But I seen her on TV. I'm like, damn, she thick, she fine. And my homeboy went, that's a dude, bro. And that did not deter me at all. At that point, I was like, well, there goes that.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me show you who she is.
Some of them bad as hell.
Yeah, I mean, you be like, what? Miami, right? Yeah.
T.S. I heard the name, but I
just
face to face. Yeah.
She on WeTV.
With Kaya, they fell out. Matter of fact, they fell out.
Of course, because you always fall out.
But she a thick girl, so I can see why you was into that.
I'm talking about my boy. Like, bro, she got a whole dick and everything, and I was like, okay, well,
yeah. Is that something that you into or would consider?
What? Trans?
I
don't have a problem with it. My whole thing is just tell me up front so I can make that decision.
That's my whole thing is honesty with people.
Somebody tried to hit me with the surprise, and that I think that was the most homophobic moment of my life, because I've never identified. I've always been, I'm cool with whatever it is you want to do as long as it don't disrupt what I want to do.
Yeah.
But one of my first dates that I went on after getting divorced, or one of the first dates I was going to go on after getting divorced, I was speaking to what I thought was a young lady, but we were doing, this is when video chat first came out, so of course the video is dark, and I'm not thinking it's because of any kind of ulterior motives or anything like that. Right. But one time I did ask, I'm like, hey, can you get into the light or whatever, and she just had all these excuses, and then I was on my way to go see her, and I got a feeling. I said, or she was like, so I have to tell you something before you get here. And I was just like, are you a guy? And she's like, well, I wouldn't exactly put it like that, but, and I hung up.
Yeah.
But to me, and I mean, it feels like it because to me, it wasn't even the fact that you are a guy, even though at that time I wasn't really to deal with.
Yeah,
I wasn't really to deal with any kind of those choices back then. Right. But it was just the fact you didn't even give me the opportunity until that point to make the decision of whether I wanted to. You know,
I had I look at it differently. I mean, because I was in the same, like, I was a woman on a DL. I was married and I was attracted to women. Yeah. And I didn't.
You don't hear about those stories enough. You don't hear about women on the DL enough. It's a lot.
It is.
That's because y'all went from strictly dickly to everything and like. No. Like 2010 women just dropped. I don't consider y'all gay or straight. Y'all just women to me now.
Yeah. No, because I know some straight women. I didn't think it was possible.
No, they not. They in denial.
I know some straight up 100% heterosexual women.
They in denial.
They will be like, no. But I was a woman on a DL and I had these desires, but I was, attached to a man and I lied about it. And when he found out, he was devastated. Like this is before I got married. Every man that I've ever been with, I've never been able to come out and be like, I'm bisexual, I'm into women, or blah, blah, blah. Or, I, never have ever, they always be like, oh, I ain't with that gay shit. Or and I had one guy, like, make me promise that I would never be with a woman sexually without him.
Oh no!
Oh, that's just stingy. That ain't got nothing to do with.
Yeah, but this was in my early.
Right. He just didn't want to miss out on nothing. It was fear of missing out, FOMO.
This is my my early 20s or whatever. But being a woman who has same sex attractions, bisexual or whatever, and you don't know, how to. It's a whole community of women out there. There's websites and there's chats and all kind of stuff that women can find. Women who are just regular housewives and moms like me and whatever.
Men too.
Soccer moms, I know men. It's like that for men. For sure. But
wait, I need. Give me a pen and a piece of paper because
men like DL people.
Oh,
so it's like.
Yeah, I live in Atlanta. I don't
it's like you don't need that in Atlanta. I'm not finna leave my spouse, but
I want to hook up with a woman.
I want to hook up.
Yeah.
So how can we keep the street? So it's like you hook up with somebody who has just as much to lose.
That's why they got rid of the personal section on
Craigslist.
Yeah, because it was all these codes and stuff that people they done fucked up the regular little.
Because that took over for Backpage because it was Backpage. They got rid of it.
No, Craigslist was first. Craigslist then Backpage. Oh, okay. Because I'm not gonna lie, Craigslist is who I met. The date from
that makes sense. Yeah, it is all types of like alternative. I heard crazy stories about that.
Yeah, but if you read in the profile, if you read close enough, because it was some hints in there.
That's why I always tell men, because men, most men want their women to like engage in threesomes and stuff. And I'd be like, okay, it sounds sexy, but be careful because you never know what type of box of worms you're opening up because she really may. She may discover something about herself, and after she been touched by a woman,
don't want to go back.
It's gonna be hard. Right. But you was pushing this on her, and she was trying to suppress it, or she didn't even know she was into that. And now you done open her up to this life that she never knew. And so men be thinking, oh yeah, I'm finna have a threesome, but it's like I've seen stuff like that before, like a couple incidents where men have lost their women to other women, and she won't even mess with a guy no more.
I wrote a skit.
I have a friend who's basically a roommate right now to his ex-wife and her girlfriend because of that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta be careful.
Like he's like, well, we're still cool, we're still friends. I love her, but so it wasn't a bad break. It was just she realized. She discovered
it. But so many men be pushing on their women. Yeah.
And see me, I never pushed for a threesome because my low self-esteem having ass has always been like, I'm working hard enough to pleasure one. If I get both of the reports back and they're both like, man, it's like I don't want to give two people mad,
I wrote a skit about it. Everything I write is based on reality. My experience. But it's about how I had a threesome but the guy really much saw like a whole different part of me, and he just treated me differently afterwards. Like he thought I was about to be real timid and all this stuff. And then when the other girl was there, it was just like I'm in control, or she's in control, not me. But like the main character is in control, and she's flipping both of them up, and and all that stuff, and just kind of take control. And he's like, whoa, and he's on the side of the bed, covered with the covers on him. Like, it wasn't what I expected,
That's funny. Yeah, it's crazy out here. It's
right.
It's crazy.
Hey, that was my first time with a sexually aggressive woman. It was like, I'm not taking the lead. Wait, hold on. Why are my pants getting pulled? Whoa, hold on. And then afterwards, it's just like, I need a shower.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why dancing. That's how you. When we talked about dancing at the beginning of the show, before you got here, he was talking about how he realized at the 70s thing that he didn't know how to dance with a woman.
I know how to dance, right? I don't know how to lead when I'm dancing with a woman.
And it's 70s music, though. Now that you mentioned what you opened up with the show was about, the event, that music called for men and women to dance, and not only that, but for the man to lead those dancing. And typically, I'm all like, I ain't for the old man dancing, because I don't feel like men should always be the leaders of the household. Because I done had a nigga like run my shit in the ground before, all because he's trying to lead the way the Bible said.
That's my thing. Whichever one of us make the better leader should be the leader. I'm not gonna automatically assume that role just because I'm the man.
Well, please don't,
because I've had girlfriend. My best love so far in my life was an excellent leader. I was there for support, and it worked.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for the most part, the woman does lead the household, though.
Yeah, but it's all that matriarchy and what would you say, the old school mentality. Men just feel like
because they paying, but who runs the household?
Exactly.
But it's women out here who are brainwashed. I do a lot of like sexual consultations with couples and stuff like that, and I be like, make him think he I'm listening to them.
You do gotta,
but the women are just like, the women are they really thinking, and I just blah 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 and blah blah, and I just listen to them and then, but I'm seeing a picture for what they're painting. Like, girl, if you don't realize you running this house,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
People just want perception.
Mm-hmm. But if you ever told her, I could never tell those wives that they're the ones that's running the household, because it would shatter her. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, what does Jesus think? Blah blah blah.
Oh my gosh.
Or it can make him feel like he gotta start. I gotta start beating her ass because I ain't. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right. Every night I gotta fight. So
I love y'all honesty. Y'all, you know that what you said. About the T.S. Madison thing. Like, black men just like, man, I hate I love it, but I hate it too. Like the bravado-ness of like the masculinity. It's like, be alpha or whatever, but it's okay to like not always be so hard.
See, first off, that's the first book that I'm going to get published is How to Not Be an Alpha. Because
that's a great title.
Because no. But see, here's the thing, so people think that there are only those two categories. There are more than just those two categories, because like betas are really just wannabe alphas who don't actually, they weren't born with that actual swag. So they're trying to imitate it, they're trying to siphon it, they're trying to get it any way they can. And I call myself a gamma male. I have no interest in leading. I don't have any interest in following. I just want to do what I want to do. Yep. And whoever wants to join me can, and this, that, and the third. But I've never had an interest in being like the alpha male. And as soon as you tell that to other males, it becomes this whole you not a real man and all this shit and all that. And it's like, well, you know what? I'm comfortable. But that's what you were talking about, like being comfortable without conforming is like, some people are gonna look at that like a threat to their lives.
They get upset. I would make that into a video series. I'll start off doing that before you write a book.
Because I've even had that, like I said, this is my first time even saying that thing about T.S. Madison on air. But in my mind, I've already pictured the arguments. It's like, oh, nigga.
But that's so crazy that you said that, knowing like what type of world we live in. Just not even society, but like the comedy world that we live in. Like,
I done got to the point now, again, 15 years in the game. Anybody whose respect I lose from being honest, I don't need it in the first place.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people. What got me to that point was reading Richard Pryor's autobiography, which I read that back in like 2005. Yeah. But just he so casually mentions having sex with a guy and then goes on like it's so to said it on TV. Back then, and yet nobody ever gives him the Richard's getting it. Right. Hell, what's his face? His main boy, Paul Mooney was openly open.
Yeah.
And nobody gave him shit. So it's like, I feel like I'm not even about to stress myself. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I would be gay if I found a dude attractive. I just ain't found a dude attractive yet.
Look, I feel like I think people are okay with it if it's people that we think are gay already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's somebody that we think shouldn't be gay, it's like, how do I know goddamn well? But if Queen Latifah came out of, comes out of this, man, we like, oh, okay.
We knew that.
She
yeah.
I get why she don't, because like you don't want
it's gonna define her.
It's gonna define. That's why I be telling people like I date women, but they be like, I was dating somebody. They was like, well, why you don't never put it out there? I'm like, because I'm not trying to be the advocate for everything LGBTQ. Like, I have my own point of view and stuff, and I don't want to be like, oh, Kirby, what do you think about this? Like, this happened. What they call. Like, it's sad that it happened, but don't make me be the advocate of that.
I thought she was a gay Kirby, though.
Huh?
It's another gay Kirby. Well, not saying you gay, but it's a gay Kirby. It's a comedian.
Really?
Girl?
First off, it's like 8 gay Sonnies.
She's a stud.
So,
okay.
So I have to constantly.
But I thought that's what it was at first. I was like, oh yeah. But then I said, no, this ain't the same person.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you gotta live your life the way you want to live your life, because people be so miserable and they really be dying. Like, stress could kill you. You be dying on the inside trying to keep up your perception. And it's like, but if you was to tell somebody don't date this person, they're not gonna listen to you because they rock with that person. But you want me to not love who I love for what? So you can feel more comfortable. Again, you ain't paying no bills over here. Like,
or the same people who will come to your funeral if you kill yourself are the same people who are going to criticize you if you just deal with like so there was a comedian who committed suicide last year, rest in peace, but now it was a couple of them, but this one that I'm speaking of specifically, he was out of like the Milwaukee area. Okay. But the rumor had it that it was going to be found out that he had a gay lover.
That's so messed up.
And so, all these comedians are coming on, they're like, oh, my boy, blah blah blah. But I'm sitting here like, but while he was alive, how comfortable did you make him that he could come and tell you this so that he would still be here? So what I'm saying? It's like, pick one or the other. Either you supportive all the way, or you supportive until they die, and you're like, oh my God, you could have came and talked to me about it. I wish you would have just no. Right. So that's why I just live my life to the point where, hey, if you're gonna lose my respect, as long as I can sleep comfortably at night knowing that I was honest with who I was. With yourself. That's it.
You get one life, man, and it's just like when I turned 18, like something in me just was like, fuck it, like, I don't care what nobody think about me. Like, you couldn't. I went away to college. It's like, and then when you in college, you don't, like, high school, you see the same people every day. In college, I may see you 2 years later because we don't run into each other like that. Right. So it was like, I'm gonna live my life the way I want to live my life. I don't care what you think about me, and it's just like, I just don't care. I don't care, because I'm not about to be miserable, suppressing myself because of you you don't even care about me for real.
That's where I am in my 40s. That's why I like seeing me wilding out on 40s.
I never wanted to be that woman who like use a man, like, you know how men have beards and stuff. I was like, I don't want to like use nobody. Like, I don't want to ruin somebody's life because I can't live in my truth. Like, you're ruining people's lives because you're trying to hide yourself. Like, that's not fair.
Right.
Like, what was the Brad just got married?
Yeah.
And the reason why she was saying how she was holding it for so long.
Yeah, but we knew
her grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't us.
Okay. It was
okay. Yeah. And she knew that we knew. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it was, she could never say it or really like officially come out because of her grandmother. And that just, I don't know. I feel I empathize with people so much, and I hate that I'm that way. Yourself, I'm like, and so that's why in certain things I feel responsible to be an advocate. Yeah. For things that for paths that I have walked and I've experienced all levels of joy, all levels of anguish from. It's a right of mine. I have to be an advocate because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, nobody else to feel like that I feel in that.
And you have to just see a person who's like, it's okay. But I do want black men to, because it's different between men and women. Yeah. Especially like in our community, because white men could be bisexual all day, every day, and it's like you don't look at it. They play with, but it's like with our black men, like it's just like
you got to get put in a box.
Yeah.
But it's like hopefully we move forward like as a society where we don't make it such a big deal, because it's like it's not a big deal. Like, But just be honest, I'm not into deception. That's my biggest thing. Like, is deception. Like, if you know you like men, hey, be honest, because there's plenty of women out here who do accept bisexual men. So it's like, this just not your crowd right here. Go find the ones who are into it, but don't deceive somebody because you feel like that's the fucked up part.
I never realized.
You know what? Y'all just made me feel better. Find a woman who doesn't mind leading when we dance.
Yeah.
Stop trying to force myself to be a leader on the dance floor and find a woman who does not mind dipping me for once.
Look, we're gonna find a video and it's gonna be Sonny with a rose in his mouth doing the tango. He gonna have a rose in his mouth.
I love people who could just be unapologetically themselves. You know, those are the type of people I follow. Like, when I be like, I ain't a fan of nobody because everybody doing the same thing, you know. But when I find somebody who doing something a little different, like, those are the people I try to follow, you know.
Well, if you follow my stand up, I do talk about my life as being a polyamorous woman and having a bunch of kids.
I think you two should get together and do a project anyway, honestly. I see similarities.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have highly respect for her, so
thank you.
I appreciate that.
I didn't know you did all of that, so I definitely mutual respect. You know,
thank you. As Sonny say, I'm somewhat of a medium deal.
I'm kind of a medium deal.
Kind of a medium
we
deal.
gotta start. We do all, like, even myself, all of us. We have to start, like, we've been doing this. We got enough info. Like, we on a certain level, don't know what level, but we know something, a little something, you know, to where, and we all are experts at something to a certain degree. So
I wanted to start so it exists already, but again, there's CVS and Walgreens right across the street from each other. So, but there exists already a conference for comedians that they have every year. It's been going on for apparently 20 years. Okay. In Atlanta, right here in Atlanta. I know, right? But, okay, so I want to take my love of film festivals and my experience with going to film festivals and turn that into something for comedians.
I said that, too, before.
And I want to have, like, the moderators, and I want to have rooms where people can come and get feedback. I want to have, like, workshops and tutorials. There should be more stuff dedicated for comedians, because you got the filmmakers and you got musicians and stuff like that. You have all those things.
You don't have like comedians. It's like they're so important to society, but they don't get like their just due
unless they offend the group.
We're thought of like medicine. You know, so the way I see it, like music, I've had this analogy in my head for a while. Music and film are thought of like nutrients. Comedy is more thought of like a snack. I was really craving it. I really wanted it. It really satisfied me, but I'm done with it. You know, because honestly, think like when there are like comedy festivals, you know, there's nobody that I know that stays for a whole comedy festival. They either come in for a select comic or for a group of, a certain time to watch. But nobody's going to sit there for the entire festival and watch every single act. Yeah. Versus if you have a film festival, folks is going, they might take bathroom breaks. They might fall asleep during one film, but they're going to stay there for the entire.
You know what it is too? It's that bullshit politics of like choosing people to be on this festival who shouldn't even be in this festival.
Right.
So it's like, you know how like if you go to Laughing Skull, it's about 19 people on the list.
Right. But it's the same 19.
Two or three may be funny, but it's like, damn, I got to sit through 15 people before I could see funny. So a lot of times people getting into these festivals because of their agents and who they know. And it's like, it's not a real talent thing. So it's like, but if you got into that film festival, like you had to go through a jury selection and you've been tried and tested. But it's like with comedy, like these festivals, it's like, yeah, we're going to put you on this because we're going to try to push you as that guy or that girl. Right. And it's like, you really ain't shit, but you in this festival now, people thinking you shit because they're like, oh, this person been in this festival, and you probably even won that bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you not even funny. We all know funnier people who just don't have the representation, but I always said that there should be more stuff like dedicated to the comedians. Like there should be a comedy film festival, like a comedy festival like dedicated to comedians instead of like the big ones,
something for the people who have been doing it for 2.5 years and some people who've been doing it for 15 16 years. And I want to bring in people from I want to make it like ABFF is for for Atlanta.
I was disappointed because I was in that and it was virtual last year, but I just feel like
you ever had a chance to go like not in New York. When it was in New York, it was I don't like Miami New York anyway. Yeah, but Miami. How
was it the ABFF in New York?
It used to be.
In New York.
What's the A stand for?
African.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I thought it originated in Miami.
It did, but at one point in time, he took it to New York for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah. But for a couple of years, it was in New York.
But I didn't like the way they did it last year because they did it was virtual because of COVID.
I thought they opened up last
year. But nah, it was virtual. But it's like ABFF is one of the premier black film festivals. Why did you have to go separate the comedy part? Why couldn't the comedy be a part? Because people come out there like big A-list celebrities, B-list celebrities and stuff come out there, but they separate the comedy portion and then they made it virtual. So it's like,
oh yeah, they did. Because I actually
the comedians didn't even get like their just due because it's like why separate it?
That's
Why
the biggest,
separated?
When you go there,
that's the biggest festival.
That's the biggest part that people come to see is the comedy part of it.
Yeah, they made it to a whole nother festival. Like it's the comedy portion, you know, and
but they don't have a following because people not following ABFF for the comedy.
Exactly,
it just happened to be.
It should have been a part of the comedians. So the comedians could have did way better. Like if you got these big people coming out here to watch this, but now they not even watching the comedy section because they're not a part of the comedy. Yeah. It should be one. So I think comedians need. That's why I said we need comedy needs a research. It needs something. I don't know what it is, but comedy needs something because it's been the same thing for since the conception of it.
I got
you. Even with ABFF and others, like as a filmmaker, depending on what your goal is, make sure that whatever festival that because the festival circuit is so like
it's some bullshit.
It really is, and unless they have working because in addition to going to like the film festivals, I also go to American Film Market every year because I was into sales and distribution for film and TV. So and that was like pre-COVID, right before everything started changing and everything. But so I know a little bit about like distribution and sales and stuff, and I know that nobody is at ABFF is checking for it like a film market. Nobody is checking there. It's big and as grand as it is in our community, nobody is buying and selling. You know what I'm saying? So when I tell filmmakers all the time, make sure you go to American Film Market because I've seen deals go through and I've seen deals fall flat on the table because they don't have proper licenses or they did guerrilla shooting and they shot at the flower shop that didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Or they had actors, they used like union actors and they weren't supposed to, like I've seen deals fall flat on the table because of stuff like that. So I just be trying to tell people like just do your due diligence about it. But that's a whole nother realm. Sorry, y'all.
All right.
Comedians.
So because 85 is about to get packed, and I got to get back up north.
I feel you.
We've been having a great conversation. This has gone on longer. I told her we was only going to be here 2 hours. Yeah, I lied, but
it was cool though.
I appreciate. We're gonna have Kirby on again. We just gotta figure out when her next Monday is, or wait till the day she says fuck this job. But Kirby, once again, tell everybody where we can find you.
Yeah. All right. So Kirby Comedy _comedy KIRBY_comedy. You can find me everywhere: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Ahead of the Curb podcast KIRB. So yeah, thank y'all.
Thank you for coming. It was so nice to meet you.
You too.
And this has been Speaking of Funny. I am the legendary Sonny G.
And I'm Bella.
All right. You can catch us on the Laugh Out Loud. Thinking Out Loud.
Get it right.
Thinking Out Loud Network.
Nice little setup here. Thinking Out Loud Network. It's a very nice setup if y'all want to come out here and record. It's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm Bella. You can find me on all the social media platforms. I am Diary of an 80s Baby. So I go by Bella Hughley or Bella Spinelli. Yeah. So.
Oh, which is funny. I thought about you last night because so Robot Chicken on Cartoon Network had a sketch about Recess.
Oh, really? I love Robot Chicken, and you know I love Recess.
But it was basically like it was a Scared Straight program for the Recess kids. But the message that they took from it was if you go to prison, you get all day recess. So like Spinelli threw a chair out the window and all kinds. It was hilarious. Yeah. And I thought about you, but it was like 11 o'clock, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, you know that's my cutoff time. He'll be like, "Oh, if I don't call your phone."
Yeah, I because when I'm in relationships, like I understand, you know, men and women being friends, but there's still a certain cutoff where
that's like for me, it's like 9:30. It's like 9:30. Don't text me after that.
Because my ex was her best friend. Me and dude was close. I loved him and everything like that. But bro, it's 11:30.
Yep. Yeah, come on.
Right now, her mouth ain't even supposed to be available technically.
Yeah.
Now, technically.
Yep. I feel that. But yeah,
this is good. Episode. Thinking out loud, network.
Thinking out loud.
And so share when it come out and everything, we'll make sure we contact you and all that stuff, and you share and tag it with your people and stuff. I sure will.
She has a built-in audience. Hers is gonna get reshared more than ours when we originally shared. People be like, "Who is this new show from?" Oh, Kirby, fuck with it, cool.
Nah, I'm trying to get there, man. I'm trying to get there.
Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.